Tonight we have we're going to talk about closing line value. We have the big open of the Circa contest. We're going to talk about that. We have a little bit of a different kind of trivia tonight that I'm going to unleash upon these three unsuspecting fools. And top picks, we've got beer. I'm JT. We're the 50,000 watt voice of the numbers guys. This show is BS. Are you guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ready, dope.
All right, let's do it.
This is the 50,000 watt voice of the numbers guys in the Motor City.
And now, live from Studio 8B, it's time to BS with the guys.
Well, what is going on, Numbers Nation? Hey, for joining us live on YouTube, man, it's so good to be with you. We already got some people viewing. Sorry we're a little bit late tonight, but please feel free to chime in the chat and say hello, or if you feel more comfortable and you'd rather text us, you can certainly do that. Be the first person to take advantage of this feature, folks. All you got to do is text TNG Live 007, and that's going to be 864-548-3007. Hey, possibly you're seeing us in a replay on YouTube, or maybe in syndication on Daryl.
I want to say Bet TV.
Now it's been used 3
God
times.
dang it.
BET.
I'd say TV Land.
Bet US.
TV Land? I like TV Land. Yeah. Hey, thanks for checking us out. Either way alike. That's a thumbs up, looks like this, or your subscription. That would really mean the world to us, especially if we provide you any value today, which, man, I'm sure we will. With me tonight, for the entire hour, to my right, your left, my boy D-Dub.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Looking peachy, literally?
Looking forward. My God, some wrinkles, man.
Well, you've been hanging out in my house most of the day.
Somebody took the steam out of my starch out of my shirt.
Sorry, you could have steamed it before we left. I didn't think about
I
it.
use it all for my boxers.
You start your boxers?
Yeah.
No, never. That's got to be uncomfortable. Okay, well, the man that walks funny next to you, Tones.
That's how you get a boil.
Good evening, everybody. I just ran over from my kids' art show at the school. So always something going on with the kiddos, especially at the end of the school year here.
You were at an art show, and you were kind enough to stop and get ice at your house?
I ran home, got ice, and made it exactly at 7 p.m.
Well, thanks, man.
Up the stairs.
Thanks,
What
buddy.
did little Picasso do over there? Put something together.
A shark and some flowers. I think.
Anything else catch your eye?
Yeah, just some up and coming artists.
Did you buy anything?
We got some raffle baskets.
Is the
That's some
stuff
nice
there
raffle
for
baskets.
sale?
Yeah, the raffle baskets, pretty cool
Oh,
stuff. Yeah,
okay. I didn't know that.
yep.
I commissioned a piece.
Support
Did ya?
support the PTO.
No, that's smart. They do good work. And Tones, to your right down there, all by his lonesome, the man sporting the Atlanta Braves hat. That's an unusual choice. I like it, though.
We support champions here.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you. My boy
years ago.
Rich, how are you, buddy?
Good. How's everything going, Jim?
I'm doing okay. A little
Are
under
you?
the weather. I know me and Daryl are both a little bit, something going on in our head. Coughing a lot.
Must have got my gamma virus last week.
Yeah, you passed that on to us.
Any fever? Need
Not
some
that
cowbell?
I'm aware
Feeling a
of.
little fever up here now.
Yeah, it's gonna be warm.
What's going around out here?
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah, I guarantee you, I'm starting to sweat. There's no thinking about it here.
I think Jim's got the proper shirt on, though. He's got a little Hawaiian
Yeah,
vibe going.
I'm feeling cool.
That's it's got a little whale on it.
It does, yeah.
It's Viscount Pools. Right?
For the Viscount family.
Or Pacific
No, it's
Life,
not that.
one of the
Yeah, it
two.
could be Pac Life.
Yeah.
They got whales. Yeah, Richie, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And guys, we have just a killer show tonight. It's going to be a little bit of a different show. We have some sports betting content to talk about. A couple things that was on my mind. We got something I want to try called a musical mind game.
Right?
Blow some minds. We like music here on the Numbers Guys, not just sports and beer. We also like music. So we're going to get to that in a little bit. But the first thing we got to do, as we start every week, this is going to be a double donger of libation exploration.
Tasty beers or fine bourbons for our face holes to try. It's libation exploration with the Numbers Guys.
You watching this Tigers game, Jimmy?
Kinda.
I don't even know if this is the real game.
Yeah.
Is this a different?
Is this it?
Yeah,
Flaherty's.
30. Yeah.
I just see that.
It was a
line
6-something start, I think.
They got them old
going.
school
640 action.
Toronto Blue Jays jerseys on. Powder blues.
The Powder Blues.
I was listening to Double D on the way. Not the one that works here. The one on
Dan
the radio.
Dickerson?
Yeah.
Double donger?
Different Double D.
Oh,
Who's the fella that
double
does?
D's going around today.
Who's the fella that does the game for the Tigers on TV?
Beninati.
Beninati.
Yeah, he's new.
Yeah.
It's from
He's
got
from
a-
the White Sox, I think.
He's got a good voice, but what a dork.
He is kind of a dork.
kind
I
of
mean, not a likable guy, but just kind of a dork.
I think it's a requirement if you're going to do baseball that you got to have a little bit of
Yeah.
that in you.
That'd be a little nerdy.
You know what? He
Ruh-roh.
likes to.
Uh-oh.
That was gone before
They're not even
he
panning
left
over.
the batter's box.
It's like the cotton is a flying.
Yeah.
I think that's allergies.
They decided not to even show it over the fence.
Yeah.
Wow.
They just have the one camera. I'd like to see him.
That's like when you're throwing
The
a
Numbers
no-hitter.
guys have more camera angles than the Tigers.
Yeah, this guy following him around with a GoPro for crying out loud.
It's
over
like
there.
when
that?
when they're throwing a no hitter and they won't comment on this. They're just not going
Yeah.
to show you. They're not
It's like
going
a 500-foot home run. All you do is see him rounding second from behind the pitcher.
No
I don't,
CMs.
yeah, they didn't show him until he got to third base.
It does say in the corner that Bally's, it says having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So maybe they lost some of the
Yeah,
camera.
they have a lot of
footage.
Just have the
difficulties.
center field cam.
Yeah,
They have contract difficulties, too.
they sure do. Maybe it was like when with Tones on the Street. Maybe they got that feed that we had that was terrible. It was all choppy and shit.
Them jerseys are pretty sweet, though. I'll tell you from watching the travel baseball kids, they go through cycles on what's a popular jersey. Mm-hmm. And this was like 2 years ago.
The old school Jays, the powder blue Jays.
Powder blues, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool.
Last
Those
year,
are like
there's
powder blue though. They look a little darker.
they look a little bit darker, but there's like varying
Canadian
shades
powder
of it.
blue.
I guess, but there's a I think it's really this is the one that was popular the last couple of years.
Might be the shading on the TV too.
Last year was if you ever noticed the San Francisco Giants jerseys are sort of a cream color.
Yeah, like an
Now
off-white.
don't
almost.
get excited, Tones.
Yeah.
It's a cream color, like what do you call that?
I usually think of donuts or some other fun
Or
stuff.
some other things.
Yeah.
Like an ecru?
Like a semi-solid.
Like a what?
A semi-solid.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
What is it?
That's a semi-solid.
A semi-solid.
Yes.
Yeah, a cream.
With like
Not clear.
like a pudding? Kind of like a what's that? Oobleck?
Boston
It's
cream.
a semi-solid. I
I'll tell you
think.
after the show.
opaque?
Jim.
Okay, you're gonna have to
Custard.
tell me after the show.
Custard.
Off white.
Yeah.
Color. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Q-Dub says yo. You might have to tune out, Q-Dubs. I think this is going in a
Earmuffs.
maybe
Queued up.
too old for you.
So that was the popular color last
Sure he
year,
has
the
a-
cream.
Okay,
Sock.
the cream.
You can't say that.
Can't say that. You can't say that.
Say whatever I want to say.
There we go. Busted out a little early tonight.
Crunchy
You
socks.
guys want to have a beer? How's that sound?
Sure.
Let's have a
We
beer.
want to
Let's
talk
have a
about
double donger.
talk about socks.
I thought we're libation and we're like,
Tonight's
Man, it's sweaty. It's like
Did
a
you play the music
warm.
yet?
yeah, I already did that.
No.
yeah, we had the intro.
You're getting delirious because of the heat.
I think it's starting to get to me.
I got hot flashes right now.
Yeah, maybe you've hit that time in your life, Tones.
It's around there.
He's transitioning to a menopause.
Where were we? Oh, we were at Home Depot today. Me and Daryl. We were looking for transition strips, and Daryl made a funny joke about transition strips.
I did.
You did, yeah. Do you remember that?
I don't remember. It
That's the
sounds a
highlight of
little
my day.
How was the
Rebold.
Delivery was solid.
Delivery was solid. Yes, like the ace. Very good delivery. All right, let's look at this. Here is tonight's beer. This I had to bring the beer because everybody
Limey
aced
Poodles.
that Kenny Rogers question last week. This week's going to be a little harder. In fact, I pretty much insulated myself, I think, from buying the beer. There's no way I could possibly buy the beer. I don't think with this particular thing.
Now remember, if everybody gets it wrong, you're on the hook.
somebody's going to get at least one of them. I know that.
I might just throw
Why
it.
if everybody gets it wrong, he's on the hook? I don't get that.
I mean, that
Because he
doesn't.
made too hard of a question.
Yeah.
So we just do a little.
I gotta know my
three-way
crowd.
sh-
Know my
Rochambeau. We've done that before.
Nope, not doing it. You too can if you want.
I'll just buy the beer if we all miss it.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. Somebody's gonna get them. So this is Leinenkugel's Juicy Peach. This was actually by request of Rich.
Yes.
Wanted the Leine.
Saw you threw it in your cart, and I'm like, I'm a peach guy.
Yeah. It's a mild sour style beer that's brewed with light tart notes. It's balanced with a refreshing sweet flavor of natural peaches, and it is kind of a natural peach thing here. It's not overly sour, but I'll tell you what. Will you guys try this? Because obviously I've had it. It's refreshing. You can pound this. And Tones doesn't like peach, so I brought a second beer in.
I'll see.
We'll
I'm
see
a
what
fan
you
of the
think.
Leinenkugels. I'll see if I like the peach.
As we know, I'm a peach enthusiast. So
You are. Look at that. Looks like a lawnmower beer.
the problem is with Leinenkugels, I've never found anything outside of the summer shandy I like, but I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I like the orange one, and the ginger is good.
The ginger. That's a little spicy in the old
I like
throat
that
there.
I think I found a new favorite beer. 5.0.
Yeah. I had a lot of these last night. I'll tell you that because they were going down like, man.
Thank God you're saving one for the
Low
show.
ABV, 4.4.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4.4.
That's okay.
it's good for riding around on the lawnmower.
Yeah, you don't want to hit somebody when you're on a lawnmower.
No.
Or something.
You get in trouble for that.
Or cut something.
I almost got in trouble on the lawnmower the other day.
You were lawnmower?
Yeah,
Did you
somebody's
kick
got
Angie off?
somebody's got to do it.
Were you drinking a Juicy Peach?
No, I got hung up in the monkey bars in the
What?
swing set.
What?
You know,
Your head? Were you standing up on it and got your
no.
head stuck?
You got to go. You got to split the uprights,
Okay.
and then there's a couple swings in there.
We have
so-
a swing set now?
Yeah, we've always had a swing set.
I missed that somehow.
It's kids,
I didn't
for
know you
kids
had a
only.
swing
Oh.
set.
So you got chained up or what?
It's just,
So the
you weren't
chain,
invited on
I was
there, Rich.
pushing. I was parting the C there, the chain, the swing chains,
Like dominatrix?
Okay.
and something got hung up there, and I had to
Sure.
kind of do a 90-degree.
Oh, yeah.
Dangerous. Mr. Frank warned me about that.
He told you before he was on his respite. What was he? Sabbatical. Had a bad issue, health issue. Your neighbor.
Yeah, he's been in and out, but he's doing all right. Still getting 3 times as much stuff done than I am. So
Uncle Vinny didn't tell you to be careful when you're cutting the grass?
that would have been helpful, but no. Shout out to Vince.
Shout out
In
early,
Vegas.
Uncle Vinny. Vegas Vinny. Yeah, he's
Vegas
in
Vinny.
Vegas.
How's he doing? How's he rolling?
I haven't heard from him. I've not heard from him. Here's our rating scale. 5, going to be driving across town for this shit. 4, you'd buy it with no hesitation. I have a feeling Rich is going to approach that 5 number.
10.
3,
10.
wouldn't kick it out of bed.
10.
2, I'll choke it down so it don't look like a biatch. And number 1, it's a hard pass. Nastier than Flint's water. Let's hear what D-Dub has to say.
Adequate. It's not overpowering for a peach. I'm not a peach guy, so they did their job. I'm going to have another taste here, Jimmy.
Yeah, taste it up. See what you think.
Delicious. Refreshing.
I mean, it's tolerable. 2.9.
2.9.
I mean, that's pretty good because I don't like peach, but it's subtle.
It is subtle.
It's not too overpowering.
No. It's in fact, it says right here, it's mild. I think mild.
Everybody needs a little peach in their life.
I'm more of a what's the other one I like from
Eggplant?
Leinenkugel?
Oh, sorry.
The oranges.
Summer
You don't
shandy?
like the orange one?
No, the
Orange one's awesome.
I don't remember trying it.
what's the one that's got all berry?
Oh, Berry Weiss? That's the worst.
That's a little more harsh, but I do like it. I do like it.
My wife is a fan of that one.
Yes. Shout out to Tones' wife.
No.
Can't remember
Berry
her name.
Weiss.
Shut up.
But
So not important.
Allie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Allie.
Mrs. Tones. That's what I
Always
call her. I've only known her
delivering
for
them
15 years.
Starbucks.
Yeah. Shout out, Mrs. Tones.
Let's get us a 6er of Berry Weiss one of these
Berry Weiss. Okay.
weekends.
That'll be on the docket.
Speaking of Tones,
As you alluded to earlier, there's certain fruits that I only like the real thing and not
The fruits of your labor?
not the intimate. Yeah, was it
imitation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I lost that for a second. Imitation of the flavor in candies and drinks. Peach is one of those where I just don't like anything but the fruit. So, but this is not bad. I've had stronger, worse tasting peach drinks before, so I'm gonna be right around D. I would say like a 2.8. This is probably out of all the Leinenkugel lineup, this is probably my least favorite, but they do a good job with all their beers. So I think it's for me not liking peach, still gets a decent score.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you.
Rico.
I don't know what these guys. I feel bad for their taste buds. This is one of the most delicious beers I've ever had in my life. It's almost gone.
You feel bad for their taste. Yeah, you can drink this stuff quick.
This is coming from Richie, whose favorite drink was Hawaiian Punch. So
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I certainly made a great alcohol bevy that included Hawaiian Punch. Hurricane Rich.
Hawaiian Punch was a
Hurricane
solid
Rich.
drink growing up, though. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Who doesn't like
Can't go wrong.
Hawaiian
with
Punch?
Can't go wrong.
I mean, I like Hawaiian Punch.
A little vodka with it.
Hawaiian Punch, sure.
Done deal.
Very good mixer.
Sure.
Lots of sugar.
So what is
Minor
the
headache.
what is the Hurricane Rich?
you can't recreate it
Here
now.
comes
It's
the
been
story
20
of
Basically,
Hurricane.
23 years ago.
I mean, you could, what was it called? Jungle juice or whatever. But the mainstays was vodka and Southern Comfort and Hawaiian Punch and then maybe whatever else you had laying around. Mostly probably rums.
Did you put some like orange slices?
No, I just made it for me and Dale since Daryl wouldn't drink it, and then you just go blow a couple stop signs. So it was fun.
That sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah,
Some MIPs. We'll be good to go.
only one.
Only one.
No, we pled down. I never actually got one.
Civil infraction.
Yeah, that's okay. You can excuse that. So this is the second one that we bought.
We got two? Okay.
Yeah, we have two. I think Tones, this is going to be more in your kind of more in your
Belgium?
wheelhouse here. Let me just pull up the
Dominga.
thing here.
It's a grapefruit cream ale.
Yeah, with agave, golden lime, and grape. Oh, that's a good combo.
You like that agave?
I like lime and grapefruit.
Okay.
This is New Belgium Dominga. Dominga. It's a grapefruit. Ask me, am I 21? Yes, I am. Yeah. Let me put this on the screen for everybody. So this is New Belgium Brewery, of course, famous for their fat tire. The bright and refreshing flavors of grapefruit and lime. There's also some agave in here.
It's an interesting kick.
It's an interesting something. This one has got a pretty high ABV. It is 8% ABV.
It doesn't feel like it's that high, but
Wow, that's
so it could be
8
dangerous.
It can be dangerous.
When they're doing a whole number like that, 8,
Yeah.
doesn't that make you think they're just kind of taking a wild stab at it?
They're just taking a guess.
I think so.
It's somewhere
8.0.
around
How did
eight.
they end
I
up
think
on
that's
the?
legal.
It says 8.0. And I can tell you this, I poured this. It's just a little darker than the Juicy Peach. I'm not going to have one of these. I didn't care for that. I had it yesterday.
The nose is not
I
great.
didn't like it.
You didn't like this?
I didn't like it.
I think it hits the sour part of the grapefruit pretty good.
Yeah, it's like
Doesn't
wham.
it? And then, the lime probably helps with
Yeah,
that.
you got that little lime at the back end.
I think these are the best two beers you brought in ever, all time.
This is almost like a.
It's like a
squirt.
4.7.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's got a squirty
Very squirty taste.
flavor.
Squirty taste.
I mean, I think I'm ready to head to Mexico. Some terrific drinking hot weather beers right here.
Brewed in Colorado.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, Colorado.
Paloma's, when I go to, I've ordered them a couple times. It's basically grapefruit, tequila, and soda. Club soda, I think.
Okay.
They don't taste as good as they would sound, but yeah, this beer hits the spot. So,
Interesting.
yeah, that's what a Paloma, I think, is when you order it. That's a classic Mexican liqueur.
A Mexican liqueur. I didn't really know what that
Not
was.
liqueur, but a drink.
A
I
drink?
guess.
Yeah, a cocktail. D-Dub, are you enjoying it or not?
I'm gonna have another sip here.
Okay. I think Tones is enjoying it. So this is like the flavor profile of an IPA without the hops is the way that this kind of reminds me of. I just didn't
Yeah,
care for it.
it's got the grapefruit and lime. Not as good as the beer I had a couple weeks ago on the show with the
Thank you.
Detroit one with the was it lemon,
You
lime, and grapefruit? I think.
You liked
Right.
the Thunder Kiss too, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Thunder.
Yeah, grapefruit comes out strong. You get a little lime touch in there. Definitely can't tell it's that strong of a beer though. But I'd say 3.6. Yeah,
3.6?
yeah.
Back to you, D.
2.6. It's a little bit. You know what? That's not very fair, considering I said 2.8 on the Leinenkugel.
I think the Leinenkugel's far better than this one for me.
This
anyway.
gets you 8.0
Yeah.
approximately.
It's gonna be some bonus points.
Great taste. less
Everything's
filling.
rounded in life.
Yeah.
80026.
I will say I don't like the smell of it.
Tastes like shit, but it kind of tastes good.
But the aftertaste is kind of smooth.
A good taste.
It's
Okay.
again, it's kind of mellow on the back end.
It hangs in there though. That taste.
But then it does stick around. But like it's
Cleans.
immediately after you swallow, that's what she said.
Hey-o.
It's not that bad, right?
Yeah.
But then it does hang around for a bit.
yeah.
So that's all I got for you,
Get
Jimmy.
some
What do you
swimmers
think?
coming back up.
To me, it was very, very okay. What was that?
I don't know what they said.
Very, very just okay.
Jim, I have to ask, where do these news blasts come from on our line here? These are kind of irritating me.
They are.
Delta golf team put Delta on blast for losing their clubs.
Is this
Channel 1, I believe.
is this proprietary
Oh,
news feed?
what?
No, it's RSS from Fox Sports
That's
is where it's coming from. So whatever their top headlines are at the moment, that's what's being pushed into there.
oh, I'm glad they're advertising their show right now.
Are they?
Well, yeah,
Those headline sports.
the Numb Guys. Check us out on the Numb Guys.
Oh,
Gerald, did you
yeah. Well,
post
that
your,
stuff, that's ours. But the other stuff is fine.
Up by 2 picks all week.
I
hope not.
No, I went 4-3.
Oh,
Which is not that good, but again, because the
better than I
numbers
thought this week. My
the
bad.
numbers are always positive, so I'm probably up 2.5 units.
Probably.
You know,
What, this past week?
yeah, not counting today because today was another loss. Now I'd be back to 3 and 4.
Are you talking about the DK special?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Who can forget?
We might as well add something to this. So our boy Snoop, who has been on that DK special. That's the promo that we were talking about last week. If you guys don't know, it's an MLB promo. You have to opt in. You can put up to $50 on it. And if the team that you pick, you take a team on the money line, take a money line team. If they go up by 2 runs at all, any point during the game, your bet cashes. Your money line bet cashes. Excuse me. Go ahead and finish that, dude.
So I will just as a little tidbit.
Sorry.
Today, I think all of us had the Rangers. The Rangers went up by 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do we get half our money, or how does that work?
Unfortunately, not. No.
You got to get up by 2.
But what I was-
They have another chance to win if they win the game outright.
Sure,
But
just like any
unfortunately,
other money
they
line bet.
immediately lost that 1-run lead and ended up losing.
Never came back.
They did.
Never came back. So
So
that was kind of all I wanted to add to that.
Well, originally that was a bet that anybody could. It was a. What am I trying to say here? A promotion that was
Pretty much offered to everybody.
not targeted. Yep, offered to anybody. $50 seems to be the minimum, but some people were getting hundreds that they could put on it. Snoop, who has won every time, with the exception of once.
Oh, wow.
Over the last, let's see, it's been a week plus 2 days. So
Good run.
7, 8, 9 days. They won't let him do it anymore. And in fact, he contacted DraftKings today, and they said that it's a targeted promotion, and it wasn't a targeted promo before.
Really?
What?
Did they say that
Yeah,
though?
yeah, they told him it was a
So
targeted
you guys
promo.
could go
But
away
did
anytime.
they say it wasn't
Yeah.
a targeted before?
They didn't say that, but I happen to know that it wasn't because I read that
So because
somewhere. that it's-
he was doing so
across
well,
the-
they cut his access.
You know, we don't know if it's because he was doing so well. Because you got to remember, like my wife, she won a bunch in a row to start, like 4 in a row at plus 200. Some of them were, plus 180, plus 200. There was nothing that was, lower than that. And they didn't cut it. But Snoop's he's not a big sports bettor typically. So then all of a sudden he's in there winning.
So he's only doing those and didn't really have much track
Yeah, not
record of
right.
betting. Okay.
He does like those rainmaker things. I think he'd put smaller stakes on certain things and whatnot.
It's
but
crazy.
Yeah. So they said no more for him. Hopefully they bring it back. 'Cause I know he was enjoying it and obviously having a lot of success.
I
at
have
it.
a feeling this promotion is not long for this
yeah
world.
about Dunzo. Huh?
It's been going on since mid-April,
Mm-hmm.
and
Tones, I did see real quick though that it was $1,500 match your bet right now on DK.
To get in?
Yeah, if you're new, you said you weren't in last week, so
So if I put 1,500.
$1,500 and lose, you get a free bet of $1,500. So I don't know how that $1,500 is.
Is it a single bet, $1,500?
That's how Caesars did it back in the day.
DraftKings is a single bet. FanDuel is always you can break it up however you want.
So I got to get it right though. That's got to be a
We could get one of the two right?
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing you got to remember about that, excuse me, is that you're still that second one is just to get your money back. Essentially. And usually you're going to take a
What if
bet
you take
that's minus
minus
110 or where,
I think you do the opposite. I think you jam one of the longest long shots you can get.
on the first one.
On
or
the first one.
And then on the
Hell
second
yeah.
one, though, the second one, what
So
do you
if
do on the
lose
second one?
the first one and you play safe.
I don't even know why I would even
Because-
play safe. You might-
On the second one, remember, you're not getting back the stake. It's just the winnings, right?
Right.
The bonus bet is not. So you bet 500. Let's just use 500 for example, because that's usually what it is. But this one is up to 1,500, like Rich was saying. You bet 500 on a long shot. It's 3-1. You lose. You're out $500. But now they've given you a bonus bet, $500 bonus bet. And now what do, Jimmy? You bet a minus 110,
no.
minus 200,
No, I think you still go plus money on it.
and then you're out.
I think that's probably the best move on that situation when it's not your money. I think anytime you're playing with not your
Well,
money,
$500 of it's your money though.
part of it is right. Half
What
of
if
it.
what if you hit the first one, say a plus 200? Do you go
You don't get a-
safe on the?
Well, you don't get a bonus bet
I
then.
think he should.
Oh, you don't get the bonus.
don't
Only
think
if you
so.
lose it.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to go big on that
I
first
think
one.
the first one you
Absolutely.
should do sort of conservative.
Well, no, because in order to get any of their money, you have to lose that bet. So why wouldn't you go as long as you possibly could? Take a plus 500. Chances are you're not going to win. If you win, you win big. If you lose, you still get money out of them to put another bet down
You
with.
get your money back.
Yeah.
The bet again.
I don't.
bet
I
again.
don't understand that logic. You're saying you're betting on taking. You want to take their money,
He's trying to
but if
maximize
you
the
lose
take.
but if you lose the first bet, then they've got your money.
But if he wins it, he's already
you're hoping-
times 5 his money.
Right. I times
Sure,
5 my
that's
money.
awesome. That's great. But
And
the
I
odds
still
of
have
that,
a chance to play for free
what are
with
the
their
odds
money.
on that bet, though,
What's
Rich?
interesting is Jim is the most conservative bettor of the,
Yeah.
the four.
And he's talking about
And
jamming
that's how
it.
he would use the free money. Because
Free money. Yes.
I agree with him if he's talking about one of the typical promotions. You deposit $10 in DK and then you get five $50 bets, $250 of free bets, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? Then yeah, take some chances on those 5 bets. In fact, the last time that happened to me, I lost all 5.
Well, there you go.
But on this particular promotion, you will be matched on your loss on your first bet, up to $1,500. So you bet
Correct.
$1,500 on a long shot. A long shot says you're going to lose most of the time, right?
What happens if you win?
Then you're awesome. God bless you.
Then you just made a bet and won. You didn't get anything out of them. You follow me?
Oh, you mean if you bet on a minus
Yeah, if you-
200?
if you take a favorite-
then you got free money, $250. Say you bet a $500 bet and it was minus 200, you won $250, and
You got nothing from them.
You got $250 from them
Because you made the
wouldn't-
bet and won
You
it.
wouldn't have normally made that.
Oh,
bet.
I guess even then, I think you got to take anytime that they're going to give you money, you have to figure out what's the best way to get a hold of it.
But in this particular promotion, they're not giving you money; they're giving you a chance to win your money back.
That's the same difference.
I don't believe it is.
It's going to be worth if you bet it. If you bet that free bet on a minus 110 after, you got a 50% chance of getting something out of it. If you bet it on a minus 200, you have a lot less of a chance of getting anything out of that promo
I think.
besides making a bet.
I think that them giving you money is when you make a $10 bet and they give you $250 in free bets.
Well, that too.
This
Sure.
is them giving you a chance to win your money back because you just lost whatever you lost to them. They're going to match it with a free bet. But again, you're not getting your stake back. So you're only winning a chance at your money back. And then what if you're going long shot, then you got a chance to win something extra. But you already pissed it away on the first bet.
I'm
by
going to disagree
betting
with you here. We can agree to disagree, but I think if I said, "Hey, Daryl, if you let's bet on Tones how long it takes him to take a dump,"
Okay.
okay,
Over
and,
15 and a half
Been there,
minutes.
done that.
and
I
I
can
said,
tell you it's 24 minutes.
if it's a half hour, I'll give you a half hour at triple the money. I'll give you 10 minutes even money.
that's gone.
But if you don't get it right, I'll give you a chance to make a second bet at anything you want. Which were you going to take?
Do you think his fly got stuck or what? What do you think is the
No,
scenario?
I'm just saying. Of course, you would
Is
take
this-
the 30 minutes.
Is my boil in remission or not?
Well, let's not handicap your ass right now. But
That ball is deep to nowhere.
That's what we thought too.
I mean, I'd say if your boil is in remission, you're going to be at about a 10-minute clip. depending on what you bring in there. Now, if you have a lot of reading,
I think that adds time when it
Yeah.
boils in remission.
Just, uh,
It's more comfortable.
is that true?
I don't know. It not in remission. There's more delicate wiping and you need wet ones.
Right.
So.
What would the ideal? What would the number be for you to make that on that first bet?
The first bet, I would probably go. Well, I guess it was depending what I was betting on too. Probably plus like 500,
Plus 500. Okay.
maybe even longer
Now,
if I could find it. That was something.
What are
that was
the odds of you
within
winning
reason.
a plus 500 bet?
Let's see, 5 to 1. So what is that?
20%.
20%.
20%. So, and a typical bet would be like 50%, right?
Would be
So you'd have to make that bet 2.5 times, right? So the first time you're going to lose, and then the second time you're going to take a stab at the same kind of odds.
maybe.
Okay, so now you've got again. You're probably going to lose. You're going to have to make that bet 3 times.
Yeah.
Do you see?
I see what you're
I
saying.
don't think math works that way.
I
I don't think if you go 20 times 3, you get a 60% chance of winning. I'm going to guess there's something a little more to the Pythagorean something on that. I don't know, but
So what are you saying?
you're saying if you have a 20%
20%.
bet twice, what are the odds that you hit on one of them? I don't think it's 40%.
So maybe
I think so. Don't you just add them, Jimmy?
I mean, I would, and I get it wrong. But I have to check the back
Because you're
of the book.
supposed to get it wrong.
I know. I'm terrible at that type of math. There's some type of algebra to that, though. I think I could see tones working.
well, now if
magic
you're
here.
to get both right, yeah, definitely
To get both
reduces
right,
the-
absolutely reduces
because
it.
then it would be
Right.
21 and 5 times 1 and 5, which would be like 1 or. It's
I
like
checked
you
that.
add that. To,
Guess what? That's how you calculate a parlay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Look out, ball in the
Get
corner,
over it.
Jimmy.
Oh, is that fair?
I think it hit the pole.
That's all.
Oh no.
We're right now we're doing what they call live streaming. Tiger baseball.
Any,
What happened here?
Did it hit inside the pole, like on the wall?
I thought it was good. I thought that was a
Caught
home
up in the sun.
let's see if I can download this here. Are we? We're going to
But
disagree to disagree
I,
on this.
I understand what JT's
Yeah.
saying. If you got a free bet, go balls out with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm saying I'm telling him
I
he's-
understand what he's saying.
and I'm telling him he's wrong because it's not a free bet until it's not a free bet because you already lost.
Like if I go to a casino and they give me some free play, I want to try to nail something with that.
I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
I mean, there is probably a mathematical correct way to do it. I just
Yeah,
Don't have it in
it's
front of
probably
me.
somewhere in the middle of where you guys are, quite honestly. Maybe you go 3 to 1 or something on the first one, then you go 1.5.
So if
to
you take
1.
2 3 to 1 shots, you hope that you nail one of them.
Yeah, that might be closer to 50%.
Right.
I think the right thing to do.
Are we the numbers guys?
Not something
Please.
that not something that
Sincerity.
anybody would actually do. I think you would take
Christ.
the absolutely longest shot you possibly can. I think
Wow.
it's probably the right thing to do. Not that you would necessarily do that, but that's probably the right thing to do.
It is the right thing to do when they give you a free bet, but
Do
this
they-
is not a free bet.
Can I ask you though, like DK, do they limit like plus 500 or less or something? Is there
They
some-
limit on the, I think it's minus 200 is the lowest. I
Lowest.
don't know if they
on the
limit the
upside,
odds.
the plus
I
side,
don't
do they
think
limit
so.
it?
I don't think
I
so.
think that's to their benefit.
You know what's interesting though? Do you guys still on ESPN bet at all?
I used to. And
So every week they've been offering me every $100. If you deposit $100, they give you a free $25 credit bet. They call it
that's cool.
ESPN bet.
See, that's
But-
where you take that $25 and you put it on the long shot.
But the $25 though is not just your money; it gives you the money plus the winnings. It's actually like putting down $25.
Oh, no
So if I
kidding.
put it on
Really?
minus 100 or minus 110,
Yeah.
it gives me $47.
oh, really? That's
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
that's a good deal.
So I've been doing
I've
that
never
every
seen
week for
that.
the last month or something like that.
That's great.
So once a week they do that.
Once a week, yeah, they roll it out. I throw $100 in, and I bet it, and I cash it out, and then I get another bet the next week. And
I got to pay more attention to that ESPN
Yeah,
bet.
I haven't seen that.
they don't have much promotions, but that's the only one they seem to have be doing regularly.
What day do they roll that out?
I would say probably a couple days. I'd say early, like on Monday or Tuesday.
And is it only good that day or?
I don't know that. Not sure. I'd check the app, maybe see if you have
Yeah,
an
I
offer
will
in there.
do that.
But they put it into a different compartment. They don't call it like they don't call it a free bet. They call it like they name it something like ESPN bet or whatever it is. But I was surprised because I was betting Vancouver, I think, when we were out last Thursday, and then I had like what, $55 or $57 extra in my account because it was a plus 120 or whatever when they won. So
Nice.
yeah, that's a good
I'll
one.
have to look at that.
Yeah, that's a fun
That's
one.
pretty awesome.
It's almost like a $50 bet, a free bet type thing.
You have ESPN bet, Tones?
I do have it. I haven't used it in a while, but I do have one.
Well, for all our listeners out there that don't have ESPN bet, I saw something pop up about same thing, a $1,000 rebet they call it. So if you're not already part of the program, that might be your chance to get in, and similar to the one we're talking about for DraftKings, you get a chance to win your money back.
Absolutely. And if you get a free bet or bet insurance like that, I think you'd want to take the longest shot you possibly could.
If it's a freebie.
Yeah, if they're going to give you a bet if you don't win. That's what I would do. You can do what Daryl does.
We'll have to argue about this some more.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
After hours.
We'll look at it. Like I said, I'm sure there is a correct way to do it. Not that anybody would necessarily do
We
it.
could bring in
Probably is.
Neil Tyson deGrasse, and we'll
Steve,
No, let's not bring that
and
guy.
Steve Fezzik will
More
tell
of an
you.
astrophysicist, so if you want to know about the planets, might
Yeah.
be the-
I'll have a flat Earth discussion.
Guy's a
with them,
goofball.
Steve Fezzik will tell you were right if it's a free bet, but it's not a free bet. It's not.
I think you're wrong.
You
We'll look it
gotta
up.
pay-
And we'll have the
bunch of,
correct answer next week.
mind warped. I'd recommend listening to the Terrence Howard podcast with Joe Rogan.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Terrence Howard,
When did that come out? That'd
he
be
has like
this
the
week.
secret. He claims he has like the secret of the universe or something. Like he came on. Obviously, he's an actor for anybody that really doesn't know who he is, but I think he was in the first Iron Man. But
And he was in that one where he's a rapper.
yeah, Empire.
Hot out here for a pimp.
Oh, Hustle and Flow.
Yes.
Great,
Hustle
good
and
movie. Good movie. Man, he came on and he talked about more. He has some crazy. He has like 90 patents out there.
Really?
He had one that expired, or he didn't renew it. Says it's worth $17 trillion. He says
Oh, I'm sure
he
it
says
is,
all
yeah.
AI was based off of it, and then Rogan brought it up, and everybody cites it. It's like IBM cites it, Apple cites it, because it was expired. They still have to cite it or something. Because
So it
he had
became
the first
public domain, essentially?
He wrote it in
Is he-
2012, and it just says he kind of explained what AI was going to be, and his description was pretty spot on. It was kind of, I mean, I would say it's vague to me,
Yeah.
but I mean, they have to cite it because he had the patent on it.
How would you like to have missed that bill? And all of a sudden,
$17
it's worth
trillion.
$17
He says it's
trillion.
worth. I mean, I don't know.
make it up in
Nvidia is
the-
probably worth that, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was kind of like it was hard to keep up with him sometimes, but he has all these machines patented, and like no one will listen to him because he's an actor. But
Sure. Yeah.
he was actually like explaining, like he says like he could recreate Saturn, and he from
Out of
like
what? Like macaroni?
from
Or how?
no, using like not using spaces and stuff like that. He's like
Antimatter.
he's like the first. I think the first symbol ever shown to man was like a flower of some sort. But everything he says is like you're looking at it the wrong way. Like he shows a square, okay?
Okay.
He's like, that's, we live two-dimensional. Everybody sees a square, but that's not the way a square is supposed to be shown. And then he shows it from the side. He's like, that's a square. That's how a square is meant to be. And it's just like,
Just
it's
like
a
straight
fun
line? Is that a square from the side?
No, it has like depth and stuff like that. So
Oh,
when you look
Oh,
at
like
it,
I don't
cube.
think like that.
Like
Like
a
a
cube.
cube?
yeah. So it's crazy. Like I never thought I'd be so intrigued by somebody like that just talking, but he was like,
Yeah.
it was very interesting.
Does he say that the Earth is round or flat?
Very
Asking for a
much
friend.
round.
Very much round? Okay.
He says
he
the
says
early
it's
people.
cute.
That's why we live in two-dimensional. Like they misunderstood the first symbol, and they derived a lot of philosophies off that. And we live in a lot of people still think we live in a two-dimensional world where we obviously don't.
Okay.
And like he's like for one thing, I won't go into too much, but he's like, there's no such thing as a straight line. Is his thought? He's like, like you can think you can draw a straight line, but it'll never be straight. And if you break it down and look at it hard enough, like if you bring it under a microscope, you'll see circles in it.
Oh, sure.
because you can't draw a straight line.
You can't draw a perfectly straight line.
So everything in the universe is based off like this crazy, like it basically a cylinder, and he was able to like, I don't know, like I never saw it coming from the guy, but
yeah.
he's gone to universities. Funny enough, when you said Neil deGrasse Tyson, he wouldn't even listen to him, but Joe was like, "Isn't he an astrophysicist?" It's like, why would he even?
Why would he?
Why would he know? So it was a great listen. I think he was on earlier this week.
Huh.
So just crazy stuff.
I like that kind of stuff. I'll have to watch.
I do
I
too.
haven't watched a lot of Rogan lately. Been more on the Tucker kick, as I talked about.
Reminds
last
me
week.
of Chuck Barris, who claimed to be...
Tucker was on Rogan recently too.
He was. I watched that one.
Now,
He's
does
talking about
Howard Stern have
UFOs.
any fascinating people? I never watched or listened
He had
to
Joe
Howard.
Biden on not that long ago.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
fascinating.
Stir?
Stern.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That must have been
You
interesting.
consider that fascinating. Tones, I know you do.
I
Pretty
do not.
Fascinating. That's interesting. Maybe we should change the theme of our show to more like a Joe Rogan, and we'll just sit here and philosophize.
Should we have like a crazy theory of the week?
We could. We can do whatever. You know, it's our show for the people.
Yeah.
Q Dubs.
I love
tonight,
that
buddy.
stuff. I'm always interested in universe. And,
Yeah.
Like-
I think we don't know anything, and it's just going to be it's some weird shit that we don't know.
That's
I
why
think
you like
so
the-
too. I think it'll be a surprise one day when we all move on.
Gary
It's
tell
gonna be
you
like, shit.
we're all just alien descendants, and they're just watching us.
There's a lot of things that are unknown.
We're like
that's for sure.
pets of aliens, and they're just viewing us.
Yeah.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
It's with Chuck Barris
Okay.
from The Gong Show.
My Dingaling? That was Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry, yes.
Sorry.
Chuck Barris was the guy from The Gong Show
Okay.
who seemed like he was hepped up on goofballs or something.
Okay.
And he claimed to be a secret CIA agent.
Like-
you never saw that movie? It's got
Was he one of the real Men in Black?
George Clooney in it. And
J-Lo?
J-Lo.
is she in that?
She was in one of his early movies. You talking about when he
Oh,
was a cop or
no,
something?
that's a different
Oh, no,
one,
he's
where
a
he
robber,
escapes
and
from
she was a cop.
I was telling
was
Jimmy,
filmed in
by the way,
Detroit.
I don't want to go off on a tangent here, Jimmy.
Well,
But
that's
I
what
was-
we're doing tonight.
We'll
was
save
that?
that for Snoop.
What
when
was I
he's in.
telling you
Yeah, we'll
that
talk about that.
Rich's favorite movie was?
Officer and a Gentleman.
Is that true, Rich?
That's not true.
No.
Not true?
I've seen that movie like twice. Good movie.
Daryl said it was your favorite movie.
I
for
thought
some
I
reason.
remembered
You
that.
think, I'm gonna have to question our friendship lately. I don't know what's going on with me and Daryl lately. I mean, I do like that movie. Good soundtrack, but
That's what we were talking about it, actually. There was a song that
Love
came on.
lift us up where we belong.
That's exactly
That's
what
good.
it was.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Good song.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Deborah Ringer when she was hot,
Back in the day.
probably a thing in '83. Yeah,
Yeah.
Luke Gossett Jr., what he was at?
Oh, he was a real piece
he
of
was a
ass.
badass. That
Sure.
movie.
Hey,
Richard Gere. Don't get me
Minus
started
the
on
gerbils.
Richard Gere.
pre-gerbil gear, that era. Hey,
I'd
what do
say,
you?
I'd say a better movie than that was one I think you would enjoy. Was with Ed Norton and Richard Gere. When was that
Saw it.
Primal Fear or
I saw it
something?
in the theater.
Primal Fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the name of it?
Yes,
Where
sir.
he was the murderer. Yeah,
Sounds like it.
gotcha.
What do you know, D-Dub, about closing line value?
Closing line value just
CLV.
is
Yeah,
a little
CLV.
bit, in my opinion, a little bit confusing because always getting the closing line value might mean that you're just making a bet near the end of the. It's about how much closing line value. Closing line value meaning you're getting the better side of the line.
Right.
But I don't want to wait till the end and ensure myself a marginal CLV, right? I want to make sure I get in early on the right side and get a
That's a good point.
hefty closing line value.
Yeah, you want as much as you can. So you closing line value, that's the difference between what you put or what the price you get is and the price that is
Compared
the price
to-
at post.
Right. So I've been thinking about putting $1,000 on the Titans because I obviously think them versus the Bears was a terrible line last week. I was
yeah.
off 5 points.
That's right. So you could put that in and then find out where the chips fall at close.
I just think at close, like, there's no way it's going to be that big of a spread. I mean, first of all,
Yeah.
I heard Caleb's looking like garbage, and
Caleb's first game, like I think that's getting a little overhyped. And
Yeah.
Keenan Allen,
they
he
said
ain't
in
no spring
practice.
chicken.
They said in
anymore.
practice he hasn't been looking too
They
hot.
still got DJ Moore.
They have DJ and they have
Still
Cole
have
Kmet.
Romeo Doomsday.
Yeah, he's a rookie. I like his long term play, but I mean, I'm thinking that line more and more. I was thinking about that this week, and I think I want to bet that game a lot because I just don't see the Bears beating anybody by 4.
Who's
4.5.
their running back? Aaron Jones?
Who, the Bears?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who signed Jacobs? Was that? Oh, that was Green Bay.
Was it our is it Swift? Didn't Swift go there?
Swift. That's right.
Swift. Okay, that's not as enticing as Aaron Jones, but
You
they
only
got
like
some
them in
weapons.
Detroit.
They got some weapons
They got
over
some
there.
weapons, but week 1, man, I think week 1's the easiest week to bet.
But why
by
do you,
far. I
why-
love that DK rolls out the plus. Well, that's the up 7 week, right? Where your team gets up 7.
Maybe I don't know if it's the first week or not, but who's the quarterback on the Titans?
The second year fella, Will Levis.
Yeah, what I mean, why is
They
he?
got Hopkins though.
much-
They got they signed another big name free agent that's going to be he's better than Hopkins actually. Anybody remember who they signed as a?
Do they still have?
They don't have Henry. So I don't know who's running the ball there, but that's okay. I don't know. The Titans have a great 1-2 receiver punch though this year.
Who was worse last year, the Bears or the Titans?
I think the Titans might have finished a game lower than the Bears.
Where is the game in Chicago?
Probably.
God, it sounds like a Chicago victory to me.
I don't think so. I just think it's a game that's going to be tight.
So, anyways, you were saying
Titans.
Yeah, I was saying about closing line value. You guys ever watch Circles Off on YouTube? Circles Off, Rob Pizzola, a professional. You know Rob. Daryl probably knows who Rob Pizzola is. He's been around.
Oh yeah,
Professional better.
He's
and
good.
He's real good. And Johnny from BetStamp.
Johnny Avella.
Not Johnny Avello.
I
no.
know Johnny Avello.
Yeah, everybody knows Johnny Avello. This guy's Johnny from BetStamp. But anyway, they had on 2 different episodes that I had saw in the past.
That's where you get a tattoo of the line on the back of your lower back.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's a BetStamp.
Fair enough. Sorry,
get
I
it.
didn't mean to interrupt you.
I get it. But they had an interview with the guy's name on Twitter is the Shipper, or Shipper is what he goes by. But he's a former points bet trader, and then also the director of risk for Circa. Had them both on at different times. And I'm going to borrow their material here. They asked both these guys about the importance of closing line value. And, I mean, we all knew it was important, right? Mm-hmm. But let me put this up here. Hopefully we get some sound. We'll see if this works.
I've always been curious. I mean, and this is just, again, your experience. But have you ever encountered a bettor who, over a very large sample size, was getting poor CLV but continuously winning? In your experience, does that actually ever happen?
Yeah, but like you're not going to spend that long trying to find them, and like ultimately, it's just going to it only comes to a head when they win a bunch of money, and then you like really truly dig down into what they're doing, and most of the time they will trip up in another area, something like their betting pattern. Like they bet the same thing all the time, or they bet the same way all the time. They're exploiting one weird area of your same game parlay engine. They're exploiting one like little quirk and correlation that you don't have quite correct. And like there isn't, and maybe the whole market has it incorrect. But if they're just betting the same thing every time, what's the probability that that person is a loser? Do they really love betting this like exotic thing, or do they really love betting this like exact, like this exact wager type all the time? The person who beats the major market without getting CLV, that's a real unicorn, and they're probably not betting at PointsBet.
Well, first thoughts, Jimmy. I appreciate the subtitles on that, Limey.
Off the top of
Yeah,
your head,
hard to
I hate to put
understand.
you on the spot with something like this, but I just kind of want
Mike
to flip
McDonald?
this on its head a little bit. Obviously, CLV, plays less of a role closer to game time for obvious reasons. But is there anyone off the top of your head that's betting NFL, betting MLB that is consistently not beating the close but winning? So something that you would consider somewhat of a unicorn, where over a large sample size, you see a bettor that doesn't get great value, betting into extremely late markets a lot of the times, or market tends to move against them, but they've still shown a profit over time. And then how do you handle profiling that type of bettor?
I would say there's probably a handful of accounts that would fit that profile that I can think of, where they're not consistently beating the closing number and they're winning over a large enough sample size certainly betting enough money that like we're aware of it. It's definitely possible that you have people betting small enough stakes and I'm just not aware that they're winning, even though they have no market influence and are not necessarily beating the closing number. So, it's probably less than 10 accounts that I can think of. And when I think of the many thousands that we have, obviously that's a very, very small percentage.
Yeah. So there you go. So I think that's probably says it all. How important is if you're in the major markets, if you're betting a main market in a major market sport, how important getting closing line value is. And
less important if you're betting into the late market, I guess is what he's saying. That's kind of what my point was, I guess.
well, you're exactly right. Yeah, you hit that.
Yeah.
So
I think Daryl tried this a lot last year, and he just
I had
didn't
some
come
luck,
on
yeah.
the right. Yeah, sometimes he came on the right side, but sometimes not so much.
So you do that little exercise at the beginning of the week where you look at the games, much like Rich was last week, where he wasn't looking at any of the lines ahead of time
I didn't.
and
I
just
don't know.
guessing.
right,
Why would I
not
cheat on
looking, not looking.
So you so you take your guess, and then if the number is to your benefit, then maybe that's a time to get down early.
Yeah, I'd obviously be in the small better section, but I think I'm gonna try this week. Like, just kind of see what I think the line should be on Monday or maybe Tuesday, I guess. And I'm gonna just bet every game $20. See what happens this year.
I don't know if you want to bet every game though.
Well, I'm pretty
pick
good
your
at
best-
line setting, so
Pick your best 3 maybe or 5.
No, 3.
Is there
Look, something that we can track this year.
in NFL? Is there an average line move? From
I
beginning
think
of the week
it
to-
depends on.
Yeah.
Some things you'll never know. Like if somebody's hurt,
Yeah,
Sure.
like you're not. That's luck, right?
right.
Because you're not gonna know if. Let's say we had Friday, DJ Moore, for instance, pulls his hamstring. Well, that line's gonna go down.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
So if
a
you're locking the
point or
bet,
two.
you don't know. You can't take that into consideration.
Information is power.
Yeah.
Information
more
is
you know.
everything in this particular in sports betting. It's everything. So it's not necessarily just information that you might be privy to that other people aren't, which would be awesome. If you had that, you would certainly have a chance at winning a lot more. But it's how you take the information that's publicly available and process that information. If you can process it better than the market average, then theoretically you should be a winner. If you can't, then you're not going to be.
I think listening to who's that number? Who's
Billy
that
Walters.
better? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Billy Walters doesn't put a bet in. Actually, he does something similar where he comes up with his own line as well. But he has so many. He has every newspaper in every local town all shoved into a computer, and he's able to look at the cliff notes at the end of the week. So he actually won't bet the game till closer to game time, but he'll come up with his own line, and then he'll make the bet. If it's with, I think he has a 1.5 variance. He says the NFL is the best ascending line. He says that's the worst bet you can do.
That would make total sense.
It's the most bet.
And here is when CLV is important. So if you're going to, and you should, I mean, obviously, and that's the other thing. This is the way you get limited. So if you're not beating the closing line, chances are you're not going to be getting limited by a sports book, even if you win a lot. Because you can win a lot. And if you're not beating the close, the sports books know that. They want you to come back and keep betting more because eventually you're going to become a loser. So when CLV is important, main markets, major sports, it's the best indicator, actually, of your likelihood of success in the most liquid and efficient markets, such as NFL sides and totals, MLB sides and totals, NBA, NHL, and soccer, probably excluding MLS.
Probably.
Yes, so
Definitely.
yes. Win CLV is really not important. Small illiquid markets and typically prop bets, although I would probably argue that NFL props, it's certainly becoming a lot more of a thing. But it's all based on how much money can you get down. The professional bettors aren't betting something where there's a $500 max, like a prop would typically be. So you're not dealing with major market influencers, and there's not a lot of liquidity in those markets because you can only put $500 down. So if you look at like Circa, this is old, but I have their betting limits. And I think everybody knows how the lines are probably set here, but So this is for NFL. On Sunday and Monday, on a side, you can put $3,000 down. For totals, you can put $1,000 down. Tuesday, let's just look at the sides, keep it easy. You can put $5,000 down. Wednesday, you can put $10,000. All the way up until game day, you can put $50,000 down. And of course, the reason for that is by game day, that line is going to be a lot more accurate.
So a lot more money flowing in last minute.
Well, you can bet a lot more.
Yeah.
Sure. Because on Sunday and Monday, the people haven't spoken yet. The professionals, they're going back and forth trying to discover what that number is supposed to be. So the most they'll let you put down is $3,000. And then throughout time.
Wow. That's a good find. I never knew this existed.
Yeah, that's their so books like DraftKings and I shouldn't say DraftKings. I think DraftKings are probably doing a lot more of their own line setting, but most of the books are going to copy either Circa, depending on the sport, Circa, Pinnacle, Chris, these sharper books that have the higher limits. See, on Sunday you might only be able to put $500 down at DraftKings. I'm sorry, on Monday.
This is the way your local bookies are doing it as well.
Sure.
On a significantly smaller scale. Vinny Gumbats is only taking $100 bets on Monday.
Right, of course.
Tuesday, maybe 200. But you be $500 on the weekend, and it's probably you could directly point to the closing line value, right? The theory
Exactly.
that they're gonna.
That line is going to be sharp by that point in time. And if you look at the difference here, go back to this. So props are 500 or 1,000 compared to major markets, 10,000 on game day. So putting $1,000 on a prop down is not going to necessarily entice somebody that actually knows what they're doing. That's why those markets are beatable, by the way. When they got to put $50,000 down, and most of this is, I'm not sure about Circa, but I can tell you for sure at Pinnacle, it's per click they call it. So even though the limit's 50, I could go in there. They profile every bettor just like DraftKings does and MGM does, so they know what kind of bettor you are. But I could go in there, and if I am quote sharp, I could put $50,000 on the Lions -7. At that point, they have the ability to say, okay, we're going to move that line to 6.5, or we're going to keep it, and I could put another $50,000 bet down. So it's usually per click is the way that would work. So,
But that's where Bill the Crackman Krakenberg, he says that a lot of times they'll move it while he's standing in line there while he's
of course
making the bet.
Why is making the bet? Yeah,
they single those guys out.
Right. And it's all through the profiling, and that's I know what Rob had asked the guy from Circa, the director of risk management, is how do you profile people that get a lot of closing line value? So
what happens if you wore like a Mission Impossible face?
That would be
a beard.
A beard, that. Yes. And that's a thing. That's a thing, because if you ask a professional, again, somebody that's doing this for a living, the hardest thing isn't necessarily handicapping the game. It's when they find something that they want to bet, getting enough money down on it, because they're only making 2% edge. So in order to to maintain the amount of people that they have to maintain, plus eat themselves, you got to bet a lot of money. And
Billy Walters is betting exclusively through his beards, right? His people on payroll that he sends out there to make the bets.
Right. I don't think he could go into a sports book. I'm sure they would. He could probably go into Circa. He can certainly go to Pinnacle. He can go to some offshore places.
I don't think what Rich is saying is true, though. I think he gets bets down early. He gets plenty of
I would
bets down early.
assume he does. I would assume he does.
The amount of money that he's betting wouldn't be.
No,
it'd be
that's
very
what I heard on.
difficult to bet it.
He might have done that for a lot of his career, but I don't think he does that anymore.
You didn't watch the Brent Musburger interview with.
No, I watched the Rogan
VSiN.
interview that he did last month.
I told you that Rogan stuff is all fake.
I like Rogan.
Rogan's no.
Oh, by the way, Snoop's in the thing. In
What's
the
Snoop saying?
chat. He says, ever hear of... Oh, it's cut off. Hold on a second here. Let me slide this over so I can read what Snoop was saying. Ever hear of a two-run Gary? Two-run Gary. Yeah, they limited you, man. That's
you off.
Yeah, they cut you off.
He's going to need a
Vinny.
proxy
G money.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have. Although it's not good if you want to continue to bet, because
That's a good one.
yeah, it's very difficult. We talked about this. We said small markets. Yeah, so small markets, don't worry so much about the closing line value. And you can identify those markets because they're going to have a higher vig. Daryl, you mentioned it the other day. A lot of times in-game betting.
Rules football.
Yeah, sure. Australian rules football. If you beat the closing line, it really ain't going to matter that much because that line is not going to be very sharp. Let me go to the next slide here. So how do you get CLV? That's got to be the question. Number one, have multiple outs. So sports books, they all tend to move together, right? But there are some that are slow to move. And some of them need to move or need to not move because they might have a big bet on the other side. So finding different sports books and using an odd screen to do that will allow you to...
So, like in Vegas, how many different books are they then?
In Vegas?
Yeah. Is that because MGM's all in lockstep? Caesars is all lockstep, right?
Yep.
And you might have, we got Circa.
Circa.
Be a lot more than that, I would think.
William Hill.
Not as many as you think.
Stations?
William Hill is Caesars.
Yep.
Stations is one. That's
William
the
Hill,
local.
William Hill is
casinos.
definitely one.
That's Caesars.
No, William Hill is Caesars.
Wins their own deal, right?
Wins their own.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the question would be, and I don't track the Vegas book odds because we can't bet into them.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling they're all going to move pretty close together too.
They do, always.
Circa is sort of rogue, I think, and
Yeah.
especially like you said in college basketball.
College basketball,
So
college football. First
Is
ahead.
FanDuel basically following Caesars because they're William Hill?
Is FanDuel?
Yeah, right. Isn't
FanDuel is
Are they associated with
Caesars is
Get out.
Caesars is Will Hill.
Oh, Caesars is William.
Yeah. Is this another foul ball?
I can't believe that wasn't fair again.
I don't understand this.
That was
We're,
close.
again, we're watching.
This shot two into
Tigers.
that corner that was not fair.
Looks yeah.
Hey, Little Caesar.
Little Caesars.
On top of the toga.
Other thing you can do, enter the market earlier. And we just kind of talked about this. I might have got ahead of myself, but recreational bettors like us, you're going to have an advantage because professionals will need to wait for the limits to increase in order to stake their full intended position.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, it's sometimes advantageous. Of course, if you think the line's going to go the other way, you're going to want to wait.
Right.
But entering the market earlier is probably a good idea for most of us, especially if you're going to take a favorite, because the favorites will tend to move early. And then if you're going to take a dog, generally you want to wait till later. Not always the case, but that's usually a decent piece of advice there.
Would your advice be, even if you didn't like the bet per se, if you felt like the number was good, that you should bet the number on Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, if I thought the number was really good,
Yeah.
sure. And the other thing too is, you're going to probably try to want to measure your closing line value, but if you're getting a half a point, that may not be enough. You may need to be getting a couple points on a spread and 20 cents on a money line, not 5 cents. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because there is going to be, room for error in those lines. So that's what I got. Closing line value. There's not much to talk about betting wise, so I thought maybe we'll talk about that. 8 in a row. 8 in a row, Snoop says. Now he lost the 2-run gimmick. We mentioned that earlier, Snoopy. You were kicking it, and then you lost the 2-run gimmick. Mm-hmm. So, you guys see Circa came out with their contest today?
Oh, the big one.
Today, Richie.
Oh, we were talking about that because
It's
the
a big
schedule
day.
was out. So today's the day?
Today it came out. 9
So
a.m.
it's open for wagering now or getting in?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Let me pull it up here. They got quite a big guarantee on this one too. I'm almost positive.
Guaranteed what, winner?
Guaranteed amount of money. So if there could be an overlay on this. I think there was last year
Yes.
in
Explain to
Survivor?
Rich what an overlay is.
Okay, if I'm guaranteeing 120,000 and it's $100 entry and only 50 people get in, that's a hell of a good overlay because your odds are way better.
Odds are good, and they're guaranteed a payout on that many people.
Yep.
Okay.
So the odds would typically always be however many people there are divided by the pool.
So in theory, I'm getting paid out more than what I should be based on the number of participants.
Right.
So $120,000 prize pool, and you have less than $10,000 entry fee,
Okay.
and you have anything less than 10 entries,
Less than 12.
less than 12. Sorry,
Yeah.
get in there, right?
That's plus EV.
Plus EV.
Yep. Because you're taking the casino's money, not just the other people in the pot.
So was that for both their
I think it was just the one. I don't remember which one.
I mean,
Both the,
they must be pretty
contest.
confident that they're going to get
They keep saying
least
every
that
year it's more and more, but last year definitely they put up a number that didn't quite match the number of entrants.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Let me pull this up here. I get the contest up because I think we want to enter this year.
Yes.
I'm heading out there.
You are. You
get
might
it
have to
done.
sign us up here. This Circa
I'm down.
Million 6.
So where do we need a proxy? You said every week.
Yeah, you got to have a
You
proxy.
got to hire a proxy.
Yeah,
Explain to
doesn't our guy out in Rapids know some proxies? know or
Yes.
something?
Nate, explain to the people out there at home, Jimmy, what a proxy is.
Sure. You just got to be in Nevada to put your picks in or to sign up. I think can you sign up through a proxy, or do you actually have to go out there and
You
then
can
you can
sign up through
sign up through a proxy.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
I think
Pretty
you're right.
sure. Don't quote me on that. But then
Oh my God.
that's fair. No?
How many
I saw
times
the
are you gonna
chalk.
miss the line?
Wow, that's so close, dude.
Is that Riley? Yeah.
Damn.
So, do you know what you have to pay a proxy, Jimmy? So the proxy, you're going to report your pick each week to your proxy,
Oh my, that was like.
and
6
you might be
inches.
right. You might have to go out there initially to sign up, but then every week you're going to put in your pick for like Survivor, for example. You're putting in one team that is not going to lose.
Right.
You have to do that in Vegas, and if you're living in Michigan, you have to use a proxy to put the pick in for you in the great state of Nevada, right?
That's correct.
So your proxy has to be out there, and you have to pay this person. So what do you figure it costs, Jimmy?
I don't think it's very much.
It is. You should pay no more than $150, but
Yeah.
For the
if you
year.
know the right people, yeah.
So it's a flat fee for the season, no matter how long you go.
Correct.
I mean, I'm sure all proxies are different, but that's the
What a
general.
great gig.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So it's like paying somebody
20
for,
people to pay in.
for plowing snow, not mattering how many times the snow falls.
so you got to
Well,
be.
if you do the picks, you're in for the whole year. But
You got to be. I imagine there's some legality to it all. If you're a proxy, Rich,
probably should tip them appropriately if you
You
win.
probably got to be bonded.
There's been some
Possibly. I have no clue.
some arguments
I would
on
take 'em
the
to strip
VSIN
club.
about that, about tipping the proxy.
Oh,
You know?
really?
Yeah. Because let's say you win $1 million, you're supposed to tip this guy. You already paid them for their service.
I would go to Vegas and
You
take
know.
them to a strip club for a night.
That would be nice of you.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Big Daddy.
All male showdown.
The all male
Thunder Down
review.
Under.
That'd be fun. Let's here's the first one. So 2 different contests. This is Circa Million. So this is the against the spread deal.
Sixth edition.
The 6th edition, 6 million in guaranteed prizes.
So spreads in play, you have to use.
That's correct.
Okay.
It's a
So
1,000.
when's the spread locked down on this? We gonna find this out?
When's the
Like when do we send the proxy? Can we send them Friday or?
Got to be in by Friday at noon. Is that right? Or
it says they
is-
post them Thursday around 10 a.m. Pacific time, with selections due 4 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday.
Okay.
Yep.
So it could actually move on you.
Yeah.
The-
it could.
Is this the Survivor?
No.
No, this is Circa Millions.
Millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's what you need to know: $1,000 to enter, 5 entries per person max. Every week you're making 5 picks against the spread. You get 1 point for each correct, half a point for each push, 6 million in total prizes, 1 million first place plus the coveted blue jacket, which
That would be
I'd say
awesome.
keep the million. I just want my blue jacket.
Yeah.
You're betting against stale numbers, Chris Andrews would say.
Yeah, you would. 300,000 per quarter, and then 100,000. And this is another way to play this: 100,000 booby prize, 50,000 second to last booby prize. You could certainly try to make really, really bad picks, and you could take it the other way. Less people are going to be doing that, and you still get 100 grand.
I play for millions.
I hear you. Spreads posted every Thursday around 10. We said that. Top 100 places. So here you go in Nevada. Of course, you can outside Nevada get a proxy. Registration deadline 2 p.m. Pacific time, Saturday, September 7th. And
Hat. Free hat.
you get a free hat. It's a pretty good deal. Contest prize breakdown. So if we come in second, we get 500 grand.
That would be
That's not a bad
Pretty
deal.
good,
That's
pretty
a pretty
good.
good deal.
doing some upgrades to the studio.
Yeah,
Probably a wet bar.
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, advertising like whoa.
Probably a couple more TVs and microphones.
Dude, check it. Yeah, I get a couple more microphones. Check out the quarterly prizes. So if you come in place for first place for the
Crazy.
quarter, 150 grand. That's not some bad cheddar.
They have MVP prizes, which I have no idea what that means.
Not sure what that means, but
That's just the
Oh, is that the total? No.
Total
1.2 million is a lot.
must be. That must be what it is. Every quarter, it's 1.2 million. I bet is what that is. What'd
Yeah,
you
but
say?
they don't.
Does that add up?
No.
I think it's going to be 300,000.
What is it? They do like a thing if you're like on the evens or something, like 100, 200, 300,
I
400.
don't know what that is. Not sure.
There we go. Tie game.
Go, baby.
Tie game.
Should be a take the lead, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's out.
Oh,
Oh,
they got him at
no.
the plate. Son of a gun.
Oh,
Two
no.
outs.
Oh, I tied it.
All right, so that's game number one.
It's like, you slow honky.
Wow.
That's what that face was, wasn't it?
He should have got that. He should have been there.
Is that the center fielder?
No, that's not Carey. I don't know who that guy's looks like me running the base pass.
Ooh.
Did he get the hand in tones?
As
Who is that?
as Al McGuire
Oh,
would
it's a
say, he was
catcher.
pussyfooting it.
He's definitely pussyfooting around the bag on that one.
Hmm.
You know, we said we're gonna do this last year, but I'm in.
We never
So
did
let's
it.
do this.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
I think we
Here's
can do it.
Survivor.
I'm in for both for sure.
This one.
Survivor. I don't know how we're gonna do this with the four of us because you don't want to be the one guy that fucks up the pick.
The dissenting.
Yeah,
They have
What
to
do you do
pay
this,
it-
like,
they
by
have to pay it
committee?
all?
I think that's the way we got to
We
do
all
it.
have to agree.
Yeah, I think that's the way we got to do it. So again, this is 1,000 entry. You can do 10 entries per person max. No rake, so they're not taking anything. $10 million guaranteed,
10 mil.
plus more if the entries exceed 10 million. Okay. Picks are due 4 p.m. Blah 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 blah. Registration details. Blah 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 blah. So it's a typical Survivor deal. You got to make a pick. Although I think there's something unique about this. You have to pick. What is the weird rule on this one, D-Dub? Do you remember?
Regarding Christmas and
Yeah. Let's see what it
there's
says.
it's not like every week. There's not 17 weeks or 18 weeks. There's actually 20 picks maybe, or 19 picks, something like that. Because you got the week of Christmas. I think there's games on Wednesday this year. Last year it was like was it Thursday or however it works. They want you to they isolate those weeks and actually make it into like 2.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of like Jimmy's deal where a couple weeks you had to pick 2 Survivor picks.
Yes, and
Makes it a
here's
little
where it
trickier.
says here. So weeks 1 through 18, plus the Thanksgiving Day / Black Friday and Christmas, which is
That's a
Wednesday.
separate week. Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Black
So there's
That's
4
a little tricky. There's only
definitely
4 games.
4 games on Thanksgiving, Black Friday.
What happens though if you already picked all those teams? You're
Yes.
screwed. You got playing around that.
You got to plan around
You've
it.
got to plan that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you
Oh, yeah.
can't. You got to
When
keep
they-
one of those teams
Open.
When
available.
they issued when they released the schedule,
Wow.
everybody on if you
So you got to
follow-
look ahead and you got to box those out.
when they
right?
released the
Right.
schedule last week, that was the big thing on Twitter is people studying
So
their Survivor layout.
I know Jim's done pretty good on these. I've won a couple of these the last couple of years. I think I got third in Jim's and first in another one with 60 people the year before. So, what are each of your guys' strategy when it comes to? Are you guys looking ahead, picking the best matchup for the week? Like, what's your thoughts on that, Jim?
Well, should I give my strategy out on
Well, I
live
believe
television?
we're
here?
all going in this together, right? I mean,
Rich is banking on nobody's listening tonight.
Yeah, hey, he's probably right. Oh, there's 5 people listening. I usually go pretty aggressive on those, and then hope that a lot of I'll get lucky at the beginning, and then I'll have some easy breezy towards the end of the season. So I'll take some kind of wonky bullshit early in the year, and if I get knocked out, I get knocked out.
You're playing for the long haul. You don't want to be stuck in
That's cool.
Thanksgiving week.
Uh-oh.
Jeepers creepers.
Uh-oh.
I don't even know, guys.
You don't want to
Oh,
be
yeah.
stuck
Like signal.
Thanksgiving week picking the Lions, right?
Right. I think I had the Cardinals week 1 last
I
year. Or
think
something
this week would
stupid.
be an okay week. You already get stuck with the Lions, but
Lions
There's
haven't
no-
they
no
lost every
reason
year
at
on
all.
Thanksgiving?
they have recognized.
What's
last
that?
You
night.
can't reuse the team at all.
No.
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
So my rule of thumb is I'll look ahead 1 week,
So you're taking the Titans
but
week 1?
I always try to take the weakest matchup, and then just make sure that I'm not wasting it the following week. I'm more of a conservative.
There's
than
always a
what Jim
big
is.
surprise like the first week and knocks a third of the teams out.
Well, last year, what week were you guys? When was it all hashed out? By week 6 or 7 or
I think
something
like
that?
week 12 or 13, I cashed out with the guy, like 3 other guys.
Yeah, and I was out, I think, 3 weeks before you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got.
But
wasted
the
on
year before, I
something
went to like week 15 and I won with about 60 people in it. So I mean, it's just gonna be interesting because we have 4 different personalities, so it might be it'd be interesting what picks we come up with. We all do it together, but probably should come up with some type of majority on each pick. The only thing is with my 2-week strategy is I would have to take into account those Black Friday games, Christmas
well
games.
better.
Yeah.
If you're trying to win
Without
them.
a game, you'll be without a game.
Right, for sure.
That means you're out.
You don't want to be stuck with like the Falcons versus San Francisco or something. That's not going to be a winner.
I think
Most nights.
was it last year when everybody was saying, "Oh, they're saving the Lions for Thanksgiving"?
Yes.
Or Christmas. It was
Whatever that
Chiefs,
was.
Was it
Yeah,
Chiefs on Christmas or something?
Something like that. I remember that. Yeah.
Guys, I just won my Jack Flaherty over 6.5 strikeouts bet.
Hey,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's been dealing.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Yeah, I usually look further ahead than that, than the couple weeks out, because I know I kind of look at it and I say, who do I want left at the end? So like I said, I'll take a bunch of crap in the beginning.
One reason I don't do that though, myself. I mean, I understand why you do it, Jim, but sometimes a team in week 1 is not as good as a terrible team 100%. In week 8.
That's the risk you take by doing it that way.
I think if we looked at who I picked week 1, it was not a very good team. Like I want to say I picked Denver or something, and they ended up being terrible. Like, but they squeezed one out. But that's the trouble. Is like you might be picking a bad team in week 1 that you think is good, but by week 9 they're 3-6. Week 1's the hardest. Week 1 is the hardest for you get past week 1. I think it gets considerably easier till you run into some issues. Like maybe
something
week
to
10.
gauge off of the first week.
Yeah, week 1 is a kind of a toss up unless you get like maybe San Francisco versus Cardinals or something like that.
Yeah.
Another ding dong.
Well, see, I'd be willing to. I mean, I think we should have more than one entry
for the Survivor.
But why don't we see if we have anybody that would want to just kick in a percentage, not have anything to do with the
silent
picking,
partner,
and we'll kick them back whatever percentage they kicked in.
I think DD would do that.
Investors would be a good thing, yeah.
Yeah, because we could get a few entries in. I think for Survivor especially, it ain't going to hurt to have a few,
right?
And something like that, and then you can play 2 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And hopefully one of the ways is the right one. I know that's something to think about, but I'm definitely in if we want to, if we want to split it up 4 ways or however you guys want to do it. Yeah,
I'll sign this up.
So folks at home,
we're ready by then. So if not, we can get a proxy. But I mean, I'd like to
when we win next year. It's going to be we're going to have a Netflix special because Rich took off, fled the country
with
their money.
You put the entry in their mouth.
Well, I think if don't they? I thought Jim said they sent him the check. I mean, it was a paper. It wasn't like a real check, but I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll be sitting outside your house waiting for Ed McMahon to come by.
If we pick up 300, I don't think any of us have a problem going out there to get it together.
No. If we pick up 25 grand, I'll be happy to go out there
and
pick that money up.
Yeah,
no question about it.
On a bender.
Yeah.
I don't see that being an issue.
All right, so now our viewers know if you're interested in Circa, one of the contests, either Millions or Survivor, you can get in now, $1,000 per, and it should be a lot of fun. Huge prizes and 10 million guaranteed on Survivor. That means they need how many? 100,000 entries? Otherwise, they're on the hook for something, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So think about that. You guys have anything else you want to add before we get into trivia?
Bring on the trivia.
I think trivia might take a little while tonight. All right, let's do some trivia.
Calling the masters of facts,
excuse me.
The czars of knowledge that isn't learned in college. It's the Numbers Guys Trivia.
Okay, Numbers Guys Trivia. Go ahead and get your pads out. Now, this one you're going to have to use your ears for, guys. There was a station, I think it was Mama Midwest could probably chime in with this, but there was a radio station, I think it was 96.3, maybe it was Power 96.
Pillow Talk?
No, it wasn't Pillow Talk. They used to do this game. It was called Musical Mind Game. And we're all music lovers here on the Numbers Guys. So what they would do is they would take a mashup and play like a quick second.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and put them all together.
Yep.
So I've done that. And actually, Mama Midwest, she won a car doing this game.
What?
Yes. She won. She was whatever caller. She knew the correct answer.
A 96 caller.
And I think it was a 96 caller. And she won a used Pontiac Sunbird convertible because their whole thing was not a Miata. That was like the convertible summer giveaway, not a Miata.
Wait,
it was an
a
old Sunburn
used car?
It was used, but it was still cool.
Was hers to
It was
keep,
cool. This
though?
was back in the late
Makes it even more
80s.
memorable.
It was hers to keep.
Yeah, hers to keep.
Because you know those ones that they offer at the golf outings where it's a hole in one for a free car.
Yeah, it's a lease.
It's a
It's a
lease.
lease for a year. Big deal.
Yeah.
And Rich will tell you he'd turn that down because you got to pay tax on it.
Right.
You
Well,
don't like
we
that.
found that out because I remember my mom saying that we got to pay tax on this car with $2,500 or whatever it was. At
Yeah.
the
Don't
time.
cotton to that.
Yeah. Okay, so there's 10 songs here. 10 songs. I'll play this as many times as you guys need. Just identify as many of the 10 as you can.
10. So holy shit. Dude.
Yeah, and I'll play it. I'll play it as often
Give
as
it
you
to
guys
Daryl.
want.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm
It's a
ready.
pretty wide genre of things here. I don't think it's going to be super easy. So here we go.
Once again.
So we don't have to do it in order.
Nope, doesn't have to be in order. I'll play it again.
Oh my god.
Doesn't have to be in order. Just get as many out of the 10 as you can. Of course, whoever gets the most will be the winner, and whoever gets the least amount will be the big loser and has
Do we
to buy
need to
beer.
just acknowledge the name of the song?
Yeah, just the name of the song.
Not
I
the
don't need.
artist
I don't need an
name.
artist or
I'll
history.
just buy the beer.
And if you can even get close to the name of the song, it doesn't. We know what you mean.
Once again.
Wow, that's hard. That's harder than when I did that this morning for some
Hey,
reason.
Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
One more time.
Oh, sure. Here you go. I'll do it over and over again. Hey, at home, if anybody can get any of these.
Once again.
God,
God, that last one's tricky.
What the?
Trickier than it should have been. I thought Rich was going to get that last one, but I don't think he's going to because that's harder than I intended it to be.
One more time.
Okay, here we go.
Once again.
It's too short.
The problem is, I know the name of the song. I know the song, but I don't know the name of it. So
You can write down some of the lyrics if you want, like the chorus or something like that. I'll give you credit for that because I know this is hard.
more time.
Okay, here we go. Folks at home, any guesses? Go ahead and. Actually, you know what? I
Don't-
should probably
yeah,
I should
don't-
probably shut the the chat
Shut
off.
down because yes.
Once again.
Oh God, that's hard. I don't think I would get that many of
That's
those.
too quick.
too quick.
Too quick. I think
I'm
Daryl's
sure
probably
Joel get
picking them
half
off
of
over
them.
here.
But
Picking them off. You want one more?
Bring
yeah,
it.
I gotta hear it
All
again.
right, I hear it again. I can do this all night. I just have to hit rewind.
Once again.
yeah, that's not happening. I can't do it.
It's challenging. I tried to put something in there for everybody, but
I mean, I know the second song. I just can't play. I can't place the damn name of it. It's definitely a '90s song.
that's
or some sort,
it is.
but
That's a very recognizable first chord of the song.
I'm sure it is,
If you heard the whole song, you would say, "Oh, that's absolutely what that is."
but that's not my stream.
Rich is going to have to bow out gracefully.
I got two written down, so I don't.
Oh, you got two? Okay, that's good. That's
I
good.
got two.
Tones has two.
I don't even think I got. I think I have one of them. One of them I know.
You know one of them. I know the one you know.
Yeah.
I know the one you know. Love the one you're with. Know the one you know.
Let's rewind it one more time, Jimmy.
All right, one more
Yeah,
time.
come on.
Then we'll move on.
I need to hear it one more time.
Okay. Hit me, baby. That'll be next time.
Once again.
Damn, that's hard. That's what she said. Wow.
I think I got one more.
One more time?
You got one more time? Sure.
I think I picked up one.
You picked up one there?
I did.
Okay. Yeah, the more you hear it, the more you know.
Once again.
God, that last one sounds like another brick in the wall. It's not what it is.
Yeah, the one song I know has been played at the end of many movies. I can't think of what it's called.
Everybody good?
Okay.
Okay.
I got.
I'll save it to the
I
end.
think maybe. Who knows?
Oh, Realtor Lauren says you need less songs, too many to follow.
Yes.
God, I wish she was here to be my proxy today.
Yeah.
We need a proxy.
She'd know.
Yeah.
She'd know about.
Well, I'll tell you what. If
3
you
or
guys
4
want to
of
say pens down, so if the folks want at
Pens
home,
down.
pens down.
those. Pens down. I'm done.
Okay.
I don't got
Pens
nothing.
down. I'll reveal the answers at the end of the show. Let's talk about our top picks. Let's talk about our top picks. You want it one more time?
If you don't mind, that
No,
would
I'll
be
do it
awesome.
one more time. Sure.
I got about 6 of them, I figure.
6.
But that means I probably only have 3 of them right.
Sure.
He's so good at this.
Here we go.
Once again.
Didn't add anything to me.
Didn't help you?
The last one is just doesn't sound like anything. It sounds like a noise.
Yeah. No, the last
Airport
one,
or something.
it does. It sounds like the end of another brick in the wall to me. But that ain't what it is. That one was designated towards Rich. Tried to come up with
Thanks
things
for
that
nothing.
everybody- Yeah, it didn't help you. It didn't help you. All right. So we had an interesting conversation last week about our top pick standings in a roundabout way. Might have been some insults flying around here. I don't know. Here's
Was
how-
there? Who's pulling up the rear this week?
Here's there's been some movement besides in Rich's pants.
Besides the show going on downtown Detroit this weekend.
Oh,
that this
is that
week?
this week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. So Rich has now moved into third place
Not far from second.
Out of the cellar.
out of the cellar, minus 5.99 units. D-Dub has moved from third to fourth place, down 8 points.
That'll happen.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Oh, so I'm not the worst better in the room anymore?
See, you took offense to that, Rich, and you really
Took
shouldn't have.
offense. I think Tones thought I lost a friend. He
It's-
was worried about us.
It's
Yeah,
not.
it was.
It wasn't an insult
I
per
was
se.
worried about the
It's-
long-term relationship.
I think it's what I was suggesting. It wasn't about the numbers that you were in last place last week. It was just that you're the worst better in the sense that you're betting with your heart or your
You're betting with your balls instead of
opinion, right?
your brain.
And not the numbers. Where I think obviously we know Jimmy is betting with the numbers. He's the best better here.
Well, I
I think
appreciate that.
the rest of
Not that
us
it
are
matters.
somewhere in between, and I think you're at the back. I'm not sure you knew what closing line value was until tonight.
I think just because I can set a line doesn't mean I'm very good at betting the games. That's true. It's two different things, two different arts.
Two different arts.
When you put money on something, that's a different ballgame.
Yeah. I don't like losing money. That's my
That's
whole
a
problem.
revolution.
So anyway, D-Dub just went down just a little bit from last week, but he's in the cellar for the time being. Tones holding steady in second place, down
I
4.19.
dropped a couple close. An overtime game.
Those
and,
Canucks did not help us.
Yeah, we got
the
that
Canucks
bet's
game
done.
screwed me, and then the overtime. Who did I lose in overtime?
Boston.
Yeah, I had Boston.
You had Boston.
And they lost
I
in
didn't
overtime.
realize in that game 7 the Canucks made it 3-2.
Yep.
I fell asleep after the start of the third.
They
They
did.
closed
I
it.
watched
They
that
made
game.
it a game all the way to the end there. So
Yeah,
pulled
So
the goalie?
frustrating. No, I'm sure they had to.
they pulled the
yeah,
goalie,
for sure.
and
I think they applied a lot of pressure too.
Yeah, and they could have easily tied the game up.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a close one. The good news out of this is I didn't bet anything last week, so I didn't move. So I'm still up my 0.19 or 19 units, whatever it is. But the group, we're up 0.96, so we're staying alive here.
Let's go.
Staying alive, staying positive, like magic after one full year still. So we're still in good shape here, folks. Still in good shape. Okay, top picks time. Hold on, let me play the. Where's it at?
These are the top picks.
Yeah, can't find the damn drop. Where's it at?
These are the top.
There we go. And as we start every time, Richie, here's your top picks.
Yep. So I'm going 2 units apiece here. I thought the Pacers were the pick in game 1. I think they're getting 10, possibly at some points. Dropped down to 8.5. It was 8.5 to 10. I don't see any reason they can't hang again. I like their team. I think they're going to give the Celtics, the perennial favorite here. I think this is going 6 or 7. I'm going to take the Pacers plus 9 here. I believe this game is probably Did I miss tip off? I think it's tonight.
Shit, I'm sorry.
My bad. I forgot to cover this earlier. So whatever, I'm sure it's 20 minutes in. What we got behind us is we got this up.
That's Friday.
Nope. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
Jump on board.
I'll let you know.
I'm sure that game just tipped off, so probably not too far off.
I'm watching it.
Stars tonight, 8:40. You got time to get on this one. I like the Stars tonight. Probably the Oilers in Game 2. I think this is gonna be a great series.
Pacers up 3 and 3:21 in the first. Sorry to
Great.
interrupt you.
So maybe get a -6 right now or 5, whatever it is. But or +5, +6. But
6.5.
Perfect. I think Dallas is rested. Oilers coming off Game 7. I think they give this one up. I really like Dallas to win the series here, so I'm going to take them to hit Game 1 here for -130. And then we're going to get +140 odds here. He hasn't steered me wrong yet. Vancouver is a middle of the pack team towards the back end. They're not. I don't even know if they're in the playoffs. While Intermesse is in first place, but not by much. So they need the game. He sat out 2 games ago. They just barely pulled off a tie in their last match. I like him a lot. This is my favorite pick of the week, +140.
Pick of the week. Might get on that one. I haven't had any MLS soccer yet this year.
Every time I bet on him, he hasn't. Since he's been in the league, you can't. I don't think I've lost a bet. I mean, maybe one time they tied or something, but
pretty awesome.
He's
no chance.
It's crazy how washed up. He's probably washed up in terms of English soccer or, top soccer or whatever he was playing.
Yeah.
Champion League or whatever the hell that shit is called overseas. But you put a guy like that over here and he's just dominant.
We're very worldly.
We are very behind in our soccer skills.
Whatever hell that shit is called overseas. We're very a worldly group of people here in this room. I don't know what it's called either. Is that Premier League that he was in?
Premier League, yeah. I think.
And then Champions League, you know more than
Champions League. So the Premier League teams, the Champions League is actually the top. It takes the top teams from the Premier League, whatever the France has its own league. Germany has its own league. The Spanish have their own league. The Champions Cup, which as of right now the MLS is not in, is the best of the best clubs in the world that have won their championship.
I gotcha.
So the MLS is trying to become part of that right now.
Or they would join in that.
They would like to
winner
be
of the MLS,
right, like the winner of the MLS, right?
That'd be interesting.
And it's interesting too because what's funny with that, the Champions League, it happens after the season, right? Because they're all champions.
Okay.
So a lot of these guys might be on different clubs by the time the new year starts, but they play the Champions League, they go back to their old club.
Oh, I see.
So
now is the MLS season in sync with the European seasons to actually,
I don't think so. That's a good point, Tony. I don't really think it is because I know League 2. You guys know I follow Wrexham. They got promotion like 3 weeks ago, so I think a lot of those leagues are within that time frame in English football.
Okay.
I want to say the Premier League is just still going, but I don't know how many weeks it has left. While MLS, like you're saying, is maybe a third or not even halfway through the league yet. So. I'm not sure how they sync up.
Yeah, how they would do that
question.
if their season extends longer.
Right. Huh. You'd think they'd be able to sync it up. I don't think England and U.S. are that too far apart on, like the equator line or whatever what do you call that? The longitude line or whatever?
The prime meridian.
Prime meridian? Is that what that is?
Well, yeah. If you took England, you put it in America.
I watched Da Vinci
Canada,
Code.
Probably.
Yeah. What's that, Tom?
I watched the Da Vinci Code. Or his blood
Tom
going
Hanks.
down the drain.
Seen that too.
Yeah.
Good movie.
It was a very good movie. We got Tones. Speaking of Tones,
I'm riding with Rich here. Oilers, Stars rested at home. Oilers coming off a emotional, tough series against against Vancouver, Edmonton Oilers. I think Stars they're going to punch their ticket. I think they're the complete package on defense. I think this is where the Oilers season ends. And I think Dallas starts off with a victory at home to go up 1-0. They're just one of those tough, complete defensive teams where I just don't think Edmonton can ride with. So, and then I took it as a separate bet. I didn't want to parlay. I think Dallas is tough defensively. I could see them winning 3-1, something like that. Oilers in Vancouver was explosive series. I don't think this is going to be the same way. It's going to be a much lower scoring series. I like the under in this game, but I didn't want to parlay it. I didn't want to screw up one leg of it. I did 2 separate bets on it. So,
Who's Tones? Who's the main guy for the Oilers? What's his name?
McDavid.
So I don't, Daryl. I know you don't watch much hockey
Connor
anymore,
McDavid?
but if you watch Connor McDavid play, like that guy's AHLPA 99.
Yeah.
He is so much faster than everybody on the ice.
Oh, he's quick.
He's very noticeable. Like I'm like, God, who is that guy? Like flying in on the power play every time. I mean, he is. He like in that video game, like you could tell the guy is noticeably faster, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's the same thing watching it live. I'm like,
He's on turbo
man,
boost.
he's so fast. He's
Who
so
was that
fast.
guy in the video game?
I thought
Yager?
Rafa was like close to a 99 back in the day. When we, I'm thinking like PA 93 and 4. Sakic was probably up
Pavel
there.
Bure.
Bure,
Right.
Yep.
Jaromir Yager.
Candace Cameron Bure.
Roenick was a
And
pop.
did you? He's the guy you won all the money on during the All-Star game, right?
McDavid, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
McDavid. Yeah, That was
Crazy how good he
a big
is.
play. Sure.
And then I got this is game 2. Panthers took game 1 on the road. Rangers best record. I think this is a 7-game series. This is going to be a dogfight. And I just don't see the Rangers going down 0-2 at home. I like this basically even money. I'm going to run with the Rangers on this to respond tomorrow night. So
On the D-Dub. Sorry about that, pal.
I've been ice cold, as Rich will tell you.
What's cooler than being cool?
Ice cold.
Yeah, I should have put that in there.
I got T-Wolves -5, right? So they lost last night to the Mavericks. That was a close game the whole way, and
Entertaining.
I think it was kind of expected that the Mavs could steal one there, but I think that means that you should expect the T-Wolves to hold serve, if you will, Jimmy.
Yes.
Tennis reference.
I get it.
So -5, I got that for what, 1 unit?
Got that for 1 unit. Yes,
All
sir.
right, move on.
Okay.
Scotty
Oh, there it
Scheffler.
is.
You like this fella?
I like that one.
-150.
Did a little brush up last week.
does he know how to follow traffic rules now? Did he
Hey.
figure that out?
He
You
tore
know,
the cop's pants.
That officer wasn't even wearing his body cam.
Yeah, but you don't just run somebody over.
Convenient.
Well, they were told, the players that is, that they
That they're
can-
better than everybody and they could just plow through.
Do you really think that?
Nobody's
what they
better
were
than
told,
Scotty
yeah.
Scheffler.
No, they were told that they could, just like every week. Ian Poulter said that they bypass the traffic or whatever, and they got an email or a text message that said, "Okay, you guys can come to the course now," because the entrance was closed for an hour or whatever it was, and they got the message to come to the course now. And then so he did everything that you would do in a normal week, and then this guy without his body cam on
and assault people.
assaulted him.
Yeah. Jumped on his car.
Ridiculous.
Silly.
Cost him the second leg of his grand slam.
Could have been a hot
More
topic.
importantly, cost you your bet last week.
That too.
Yeah.
That was 3 units. So this week he started out hot. It was 2 under after like 5 holes, and then he ended up 3 over today. So that's why we're getting a good number here, -150 to finish in the top 20. Mind you, he was like +250 to win it if you'd have checked in at
You think this
noon today.
arrest is a long-term issue for?
Not going to be an issue.
squared?
It's going to be probably thrown out before.
No, it's mentally though. It's not every day you
think
get
he would've
shoved up against a cop car, yanked up by a cop, as I know
I
from
think-
experience.
Depends who you are.
I think that he wouldn't have probably signed up for the Chuck Schwab Invitational if he was still bent up.
Block the plate a little better.
So, best golfer in the world, top 20 finish. It's a bet. And then finally, we're going back to the Timberwolves. Same game tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. This is the money line.
No.
And
At Bet
it's-
Rivers, too.
-200. You gotta go. You gotta shop that line. This is another area where I would say Rich is not the best better because he's admitted here on the show that he doesn't shop the lines, and so that makes him
Well, I guess the stats
inferior better.
I wonder if he walks the
show
line.
differently that I'm not the worst.
Johnny
better.
Cash would see.
Well,
Ladies
I
and
would
gentlemen.
say.
I mean, that's quite a.
I'm Johnny
We're
Cash.
talking over 53 weeks of, this is not like a 1 week thing here we're talking
It's
about.
not a one-trick pony.
Right, and I wouldn't say last week that I was better in the numbers just because I was ahead of you.
Wow. It sure sounded like
I would
it.
say the three of us, Tones,
It sounds like a friend that would keep around for 20 years plus.
Tones and Rich and I would say the three of us
rough.
are all pretty much in the same boat here. If you don't think that from 1 week to the next, one of us is going to be hopping the other, then I would think you're...
I think some people like to take the week and use it to their advantage.
That's... I don't know what that means, but nevertheless,
Good.
let's
That's
just
good.
roll with that.
Yeah, we'll roll with that.
We'll dissect that quote next week.
Some
But for the meantime,
have to play that back.
those
Don't
are
we?
the picks.
Those are the picks.
I don't know what that was.
Here's what I got. Roll with it, baby. I got Evilis to
If
win.
you can't pronounce your name, you can't bet it.
You can't bet. Yeah.
I don't know. Minus 198. I hate taking these, but minus 198. I'm putting 2 units on it. She's going to end up getting
You
upset.
can't
I'm going to
go
lose my
2
2
weeks in a
units.
row without betting.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
This one, I had her at 338. She's at 198. This is all French Open stuff, by the way.
Oh, French Opens? Is this the first?
Yeah, they're doing their qualifiers. Round of 64 coming up.
All right.
We got Victoria Tomova to beat Peyton Stearns. We're going to go against the United States here.
Is that Peyton with an E or A?
P-E-Y.
Okay.
Plus 125, 1 unit. This is happening tomorrow morning.
You got Bika to win.
Vika to win. Yep, Vika to win. Plus
That is
125.
Different spelling of Victoria I've ever seen.
It is. It's unusual. And wait till you see the next
There's
one.
actually a backward R in the proper spelling.
I couldn't figure that out in our
They
system.
don't have that on your keyboard.
50% chance of winning there, according to me. And then we got Yulia. That's with 2 I's, by the way. Starodubtseva. How the fuck do you say that? Starodubtseva.
I'll give you credit for that one.
Looks good to me.
Jim has the most bets on Yugoslavians.
I do. This one's at
Is that even a
Fanatics,
country
by the way.
anymore?
That's what I got. Hopefully a
fighting
winning
And Serbia, Herzegovina.
a winning week. We're gonna have a winning week. All of us this week. I can feel it, baby. Feeling good.
Croatia?
Croatia.
Sweating to the oldies. All right. We know what we got to do. One more thing before we do shout outs. Let's go over the answers here.
Trivia.
Oh, dear.
Let's go over. I'm excited to see what happened here.
I'm going to proclaim myself the winner.
Okay.
Is that wrong?
So here's what we'll do.
No.
Rich, give me what you said.
1 headlight.
Okay.
And that's, I don't know. I got Push It and Right Now by Van Halen.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Tones?
I didn't get that one.
I had Push It, I think, every morning.
Wow. I didn't get that one either.
I did Incinerator, but that's not the name of the
I'm
song.
going to lose.
Incinerator. What song are you thinking of?
That's the one he mentioned, but I don't think.
Oh, the
it's
Van
not-
Halen song.
No.
1 headlight.
One headlight where it says the Incinerator. That's
Oh,
one
what?
headlight, though, right? That's the name of the
That
song.
was like
one.
the third song or second song.
That's
One
one
of those.
headlight.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. D-Dub.
I got Creed, My Own Prison.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Okay.
I got Alive by Pearl Jam.
Okay.
That's maybe the second one.
Okay.
I got Public Enemy, Fight the Power. That's probably number 4.
Okay.
That might be the wrong song, though, but it's definitely Chuck D.
Okay.
The fifth one's probably Push It by Salt and Peppa,
Okay.
as the great Captain Picard once said on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Push it real good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Salt and Peppa. And I got One Headlight.
Okay.
I got Across the Universe.
Okay.
Beatles.
Beatles. Yeah.
I got Groove is in the Heart, which everybody should have got.
I could not remember the name.
terrible.
Of that song.
I didn't know the name
Shame
of the
on
title. I know
That-
the
that's
beat.
just- I recognized it, but did not get the name.
No wonder Tones doesn't have any friends from 20 years ago.
I know.
Shame on you.
I cut them all out.
All right.
How did I do, Jimmy?
You did pretty well.
All right.
Maybe not as well as you thought, though.
Probably not that great.
I'll break it out here for everybody. Here we go. This was song number 1.
I wouldn't have got that one.
No, I had no fucking clue.
Quarters in. Hold on, I gotta hit play here. Why
I
can't I
hate
hit fucking
Creed
play?
too.
You don't like Creed?
Hit the music.
Trying.
That one I reckon. Yeah.
Did I still win?
You still won.
Phew, that was close.
Every morning wasn't in there?
No.
No. What
Oh,
the heck
we
was
got a
that?
long time here.
The two.
I could have swore that was Every Morning by Sugar Ray.
Yeah, Anti-Hero, Thanks for Nothing. The record of Edmund Fitzgerald.
That one. That sounds like Every Morning.
That was Groove is in the
That
Heart.
was
by-
That sounds like
So what'd you
Every
get, one?
morning. It's okay.
So now here's the challenge we're gonna have.
Oh.
Tones, I think we got to count your one headlight because you knew the song, you were able to sing it.
Yeah.
What?
I knew the lyrics.
I kind of said that at the start. You know,
Where's
if you know the
Incinerator in
lyrics,
that lyrics.
Na, 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 na. I know you
Yeah.
had the melody, right? And
Yeah.
the melody wasn't really in that
I
phrasing.
knew what groove was in the heart too.
Oh, I don't
Just
know.
because I didn't quote miss lyrics on
I
it.
don't know. Dub, you had 4 correct, by the way. What do you say we do here? Do we
I hate to say it because I like Tones so much better than Rich right now, but I would say you probably shouldn't count the incinerator.
the incinerator?
You didn't even write it down.
I wrote the incinerator.
You wrote the incinerator down?
I wrote incinerator.
You
I'll
wrote it
think
down.
about it. Let me pray on that.
I mean, I could tell you the groove is in the heart is at the end of what?
I don't
a
know,
David
Tones.
Spade
I just don't
movie.
think that's enough.
Maybe and something about Mary.
If it was
too.
Jeopardy, you'd be laughed off the stage.
Yeah. All right.
The
I got to declare Tones a loser.
Incinerator.
I have to, unfortunately. I mean, if Rich had a questionable one too, then I would say yeah, but I can't do it.
He gets
Can't do
credit
it.
for writing something down, Richie.
I mean, I got the titles right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure Push It was the winner, but
Salt and pepper.
A lot of these songs have been on the show in one way, shape,
I can't
or
believe I
form.
only lost by 2 to Daryl. I think that's an upset.
Yeah.
I would have said -4.
Daryl, you had Pearl Jam right, but you had said Alive instead
Yeah.
of Black.
Originally, I had Jeremy written down, and I scratched that off, and then I put Alive. But I was chewing in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, blah,
Yeah, you were doing a little Eddie
Hello.
Vedder there.
age 13.
Yes. And
Your real daddy would
She's
die.
spread her legs wide open.
something like that. You got
I was looking at Jim, but I can't see his mouth. I thought that was your impression of
you thought that was me? No, it's not my Eddie Vedder. My own prison.
How's that sound, Jimmy?
We had talked about
You're Eddie Vedder. Eddie Vedder.
today's not a good day for me to be doing Eddie. One Headlight, we talked about that on the show before.
Yes.
Yes.
Dale was here.
Dale Dubs is a fan.
We had the record of Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Fleetwood.
Oh,
He was on there. That was
heard
one of the funny moments.
I heard. I said Across the Universe.
Which song
I
did
heard
you think that was?
the word nothing. Now, the only thing I think of is nothing in.
Was that the Billy Joel song that you thought was
What does he say?
"If you can't drive with a broken back"? That was that part. But it
I
sounds
would've
like he says something different in that
Rich would have
lyric.
got that one right.
I like moving. I like that song.
I don't believe I missed the Billy Joel song. 'Cause I know all the Billy Joel
that one
songs.
was it was kind of tough to
Yeah.
figure out.
I would have done better with Bottle of Red.
Well, we could have all done better. Maybe next time I'm not going to do this every week, but next time
Bottle of Wine.
I'll try to get 5. I'll do 5 songs, and I don't know how else I'm going to pick
A
them.
longer amount. Then
longer
it'll be,
amount, you're going to get them.
Then we'll all
2
be
seconds.
saying,
Can I have
"Oh,
2
we
seconds
couldn't
this
think
time?
of the title of the song." Is what we'll all be saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I don't know. I'll have to
That was
figure
fine.
out.
I think it was a nice.
It was fun.
Nice change of pace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of sports, we.
I mean,
Threw a music
Daryl's
in
not
there.
going to buy a beer anytime we do this, but
I like
that's okay.
that.
Yeah, that's. I thought Daryl might like this. All right, guys. How about some shout outs and then let's get out of here.
Shout out.
Richie, what do you got?
Circle back at me.
Circle back.
Oh, shout out! One second. Shout out to Aiden. He's sick.
Oh,
Shout out.
Little guy's sick,
Everybody's sick.
and they're looking to go to see Savannah Bananas this weekend. Have you guys ever seen?
Oh, the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, they're going to Columbus. And,
Entertaining team down there.
yeah, they look funny.
They do a
I'll
lot of
check 'em
cool
out.
things. It's
They like hit
entertaining
on
fans.
stilts and stuff
Sort of
like that.
erotic in nature.
I don't know if I'd go erotic.
No,
'cause I
but they
would've had
do like all
tickets to that
these
show
crazy
already.
dances and like weird.
Yeah,
tricks. It's kind of like the
umpire-
Harlem Globetrotters of baseball,
Exactly.
right? Basically.
Exactly. So I hope the American Soldier feels better,
I hope so too.
or whatever his name
Some
is.
of those Savannah Bananas were on the Truth or Dare tour. I'm pretty sure they were backup dancers.
Really, I did not know that.
Jimmy, you with us?
Yeah, I'm just making some adjustments to our.
Shout out to Jimmy. I hope you feel better, buddy.
Oh, thanks, pal.
Sound a little.
Shout out.
Yeah, I just don't feel well today. I haven't felt
Well,
really
weather,
well in
as
2
they
weeks.
say.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have just been.
It took me when I was out. I mean, sick, I was like 10 days of like not
And
coughing.
the last shout out, since I jumped in again, I'm going to bow out. Shout out to America and all those soldiers out there that, we kind of take it for granted, but it's not something I ever signed up for. So, I appreciate the day off and beating the Germans in World War II.
Yeah, I was going to tell Rich on that. Shout out to our fallen heroes that make it possible for us. And we enjoy a nice long weekend because of it. But, they gave the ultimate price to do that. So.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to my buddy at home, the left-hander. He's
Lefty.
worked real hard, and he played a lot of baseball, and it was a nice he had a nice season.
Yeah, congrats.
So, God bless him.
Congrats,
Holden,
Lefty.
that's awesome.
Yes.
And that's shout out to everybody. Shout out to myself, Jimmy.
Yeah, sure.
Woo,
You can do that. You want that? It's a different screen.
That's all.
Stealing my
That's all I got.
There you go.
That's all.
I just have one today. My oldest, Big D, been on the show before. Was going to come tonight, but he ran out of time. He was doing some work over at the house, and he did a lot of drywall work at my place. So he's been over there quite a bit. Yeah,
you know where he learned that trade?
YouTube, maybe. I have no idea. Yeah, probably. Yeah, real good to put a
wow.
floor down. So I really appreciate that, Big D. And hopefully next week he'll be able to be on the show. And
shout out to YouTube.
I'm going to shout out to YouTube. Yeah. They're going to probably getting copyrighted strikes even for those 1 second snippet of songs. I'm curious to see if that works or not.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Shout out to subscriber 235.
Yeah, 235. I don't know who that was.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
The unknown soldier.
I gave out a card this week.
That might have been who
Did
it
I
was.
tell you I ran out of cards, Jimmy?
Oh, no. I got a bunch of them.
Oh, good.
Help yourself.
I ran out of cards.
Yeah, you took a stack off my desk.
I accidentally washed them in the washing machine.
Well, that's okay. That's all right.
My wife is not checking my pockets anymore.
Mine
in
doesn't
a
either.
Strike against.
Well, how do you get a reach around if she's not going in your pockets?
What?
You can get those without
What are you
pockets.
talking about? No? You know,
That is a meta joke.
no. Shout out time. It's a sacred time. I was about to thank the veterans, and you have to talk about a reach around. What? Come on.
Let's talk about pockets.
We actually, Mrs. Midwest and I, we ended up in an American Legion this weekend.
Speaking of reach around.
That's
We kind of snuck in there, so that was fun.
American Legions.
Yeah.
Where?
I think you have to be a member. We just kind of went in.
I would assume so.
Yeah, we just walked in, and they had great beer prices and great music. So if you're
Did you do the pop-off lotto that they always have in there? Like we push the machine, then you pop the
the pull tabs?
the pull tabs.
Oh, pull tabs.
No.
Those are always popular at the
Yeah, those are classic.
Yeah.
A great place, good people there, and like I said, good beer prices. So if you, I don't know if I can just join that place. I think you probably have to have some sort of service, and unfortunately,
gotta have something.
Oh, that's inside the Parker.
Missed it.
So next week, guys, it's going to be another great show. Make sure you tune in next Thursday. You guys, anything else you want to add, Rich?
No, great show.
Yeah, another great one.
Put it in the books, Jim.
Put it in the books.
Everybody have a
one's over.
safe long weekend.
Go Pacers.
Enjoy.
Yeah, go
Go
Pacers.
Stars.
Like it.
Go
See you guys
Messi.
in a week. Bye bye. Woo woo. That was a real life one. It wasn't on the board.